All right, everybody, welcome to
That was the buzzer, the
KLB.
Rumble Royale buzzer.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to KLB Live. It is time. Your time is up, and our time is now because this episode will be dedicated to the career of one Jonathan Cena. And last night in the nation's capital, he had his final match in a professional wrestling ring against Gunther Stark. And we're going to be discussing the show a little bit. We're going to be talking about his career. You know
What,
me
what,
as
what, were,
Danny
what were his colors, bro? Should I give him the SmackDown blue? Let me see in the background there. We give him the
Draven.
SmackDown blue, bro, because he was on SmackDown in the first part of his career.
Yes.
Or
And we're going to talk
should
all
I give
about
him the
that.
Raw Red?
In 05, we'll give him the Raw Red. That's when we'll do it, bro. When Jericho marked out for him. So, right. So I also wanted to, now that it's over, I want to look back at Cena's run this year also with you, if that's cool. And also later on this broadcast, Draven is going to give us his 21 favorite films of the 21st century. I can't because I'm not a cinephile, but I'll just tell you, my number one is Godzilla -1. So
that's a good pick. That was on my final list. It didn't make the cut, but that was on my final.
It didn't make the cut in the top 21. It didn't even. You tell me there's 21 movies better than that one?
I mean, no, but it's my own personal list. I mean, it's very subjective, you know.
I just hope Killers of the Flower Moon is not on there, bro. I think
I was gonna put what's the movie that you despise, bro? I was gonna
put Dark Phoenix.
X-Men I was gonna put The Last Jedi in there, bro.
Of course you would, bro.
And also like the super chats, we'll get to them at the end of the show. We'll just bank them and then we'll answer them one by one at the very end. So
yeah, I did. We just got this one in. That's why I highlighted it. Because I do want to talk to you about this. We are going to be discussing this topic because a lot of fans are very upset at the finish of last night's match. The fact that John Cena gave up, tapped out, and we're going to be discussing the pros and cons of that on this stream. So where do you want to start, bro? Do you want to start with Cena's 2025 or do you want to go back to the beginning first?
No, we could recap his 2025, which obviously is very polarizing. Most people not liking it, and then we could.
The second half was a lot better than the first half,
but it was also tainted because the second half was literally there was no bridge to get us there. It was literally one during the I think it was the go home show for SummerSlam. All of a sudden it was like, oh, I'm a good. He literally cut a promo, bro, where he literally said, "I am a babyface now." You know.
Yep.
And no, he did throw a very clever line though that I give him credit for because it was gonna ruffle very powerful people the wrong way. He said, remember, he said this in the promo. I'm paraphrasing. He said, "Some people that were supposed to be with me decided never to show up, and therefore I'm gonna be who I really am." That's what he said in that promo, bro. So he buried Travis Scott and The Rock.
Well, Travis Scott deserves to get buried, especially after what we found out about him this week because it's come out publicly. And by the way, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so.
We just got to be looking at each other when we say that, bro.
That's right. I can't do it. It's going to look... All right, so... David Salvador has a good question, but like you said, maybe we'll
you know what I always say about people like David Salvador, bro? Never trust a man with two first names. That's what I gotta say about that.
That's right, bro. Never trust a man whose ass is wider than his shoulders either. Because that'd be bad. So the John C. So Travis Scott couldn't hack it, he couldn't cut the mustard. I guess wrestling was too hard for him. They brought Jelly Roll in, and to Jelly Roll's credit, he picked it up as fast as he could.
He also busted one of your moves, brother. It was like he's been eating a lot of hamburgers sin pan lately.
Sin pan, that's right. He's in good shape, bro.
I wouldn't say good shape, bro. I wouldn't say good shape. He's
you can kiss that if you want.
He dropped about 300 pounds, I believe he said.
Yeah. Well, I got the 400-pounder in my Discord who's still working on it, bro. So
he went from 405 to 401. Good for him, bro.
No. Actually, he gained some of the weight back, and I had to cut a promo on him. But it was a nice promo. It wasn't. I've changed a lot this year.
It was a Rex Steiner promo, bro.
It was not a yeah, it was not a Robbie and Scotty special.
You didn't call the 400-pounder the Einsteiner, did you?
No, but this is what he said. He goes, my doctor put me on these new pills.
Well, stop right already. That's the red flag right there, bro. As you know, once you start saying with my doctor put me on, done.
That's right.
Anyways,
that's right,
going, bro.
So, and by the way, he's neurodivergent. So, like me. So,
which is a buzzword that you're trying to get over right now. Much like the WWE with the WWE Universe about 14 years ago, you're gonna get the term neurodivergent over on your. Well, there's a bunch of people like that on your Discord, I imagine. So you're gonna be okay.
Oh, pretty much everybody, bro. I realize all of my exes are too. So, okay, so, now look, I said this with love. He said he got new medicines from his doctor. I'm not gonna say who it is in here. I'm not gonna embarrass him. And
it's tarea, like, bro, homework.
He said he's losing 1 to 2 pounds a month, and he's 430 pounds. Now, I told him, I said, have you done the math on that? He's like, what do you mean? I go, you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a month. You're not going to get to a healthy weight for 10 fucking years if you lose 1 to 2 pounds a month. 1 or 2 pounds a week, okay. 1 or 2 pounds a month is impossible.
I think he meant a week. I think he fucked up and he meant a week.
No, he said the month, bro, because I checked with him. I said, are you sure? He's like, a month. And I told him, I was like, and again, neurodivergent. I told him, bro, I was like, listen, I care about you. I said, if you don't want to do the low carb diet, you don't have to. Pick whatever diet you want, but figure it out, bro, because there are no 70-year-olds that are 400 pounds, brother. They don't exist. And there's a reason why.
The butcher does.
Yeah, but he's from the Sudan, bro. So he probably
he's from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, bro. From no damn Sudan.
No. Nikita Koloff is from Russia, bro. Don't even start with this fucking bullshit. So
Draven, you want picture with me, Draven? You want picture with me, Draven?
They talk to his real voice, and it's like,
man, that broke my heart, bro. Hey, man, do you want to? This is what he said exactly like this. Hey, man, what's up? Do you want a picture with me? I was like, what the fuck? But anyways, yeah, it's Scott Simpson, bro.
So I gave him a pep talk, and he's trying it again, and I'm glad he is. So yeah, but the thing is, he's 45. If he was like 30, different story. When you're 45, your metabolism starts to go down, and he'll go from losing 1 to 2 pounds to losing 1 pound to gaining 2 pounds a month. And also, he's already got back pain. So it's like, dude, I would imagine so, yeah.
So
you got to figure something out.
So he's 45, he feels 55, and looks 65, is what you're saying.
Basically, I guess that makes sense. Basically. So speaking of guys in their late 40s, John Cena, 2026. We've already covered the heel turn in previous live episodes. The actual turn itself, I thought was okay. The follow-up was not. Dwayne disappeared. And what a dickhead Dwayne is, bro. Dwayne has access to a private plane and couldn't even go to Washington, bro. He had to do hey, John, I just wanted to say your good career. But everybody else showed up, but not Dwayne.
No, Randall K. Orton didn't show up.
Okay, I was looking for him. I couldn't find him. Why didn't he not show up?
I think he was in that Saudi Arabia Goodwill tour at the same time. Because he's been posting pictures of him being in Saudi with his hot wife.
With his wife's ass, bro. And this is my view. The picture of his wife's ass, bro. He pops me. So, Cena's last. So the second half of the run, first half of the run was the Randy Orton match, the CM Punk match, the R-Truth thing. He goes from being R-Truth to being Ron Killings back to being a little fella again. That's another neurodivergent. He went from neurodivergent to neurotypical and then back to neurodivergent.
So what are you? That's kind of like your life trajectory, bro. So
it is, but I bounce back and forth between them.
So are you saying, bro, that if you go to a wrestling show now, you're liable to tip over the guardrail, bro? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm that young little Shawn Michaels fan. I like how Jim Ross assumed he was a Shawn Michaels fan. He probably wasn't, bro.
He was just a fan of like humans in the way his little brain works.
Okay, let me see if I can find.
We're assholes, bro. That's for the people that are tuning in for the first time. They're like, why are they being such a fucking assholes?
Yeah, but it's a gimmick, bro. We're making fun of wrestling marks. Wrestling marks do shit like this and say shit like this. So that's all it is, bro. Hold on. I'm trying to find King of the Ring 97, bro, and see if I can find that clip of the little fella. But what am I going to look for, bro?
Not King 98, though. He's been dead.
No, but I think was he on that show? King 95, you mean?
Yeah, King. No, King. He wasn't on that show.
All right, hold on a minute.
I'm such a nerd. I remember that card by heart. It was Lord Vader versus Ahmed Johnson in the first round, I think.
Something like that, yeah. And Farouk against someone else. I forgot who. Hunter Helmsley, bro. I can't. So what do you think about? What do you think about Bret Hart saying that Shawn and Vince were gay lovers now after all these years, bro?
I mean, he was just messing around, bro. Because remember, he also said that that Vince found the Ultimate Warrior attractive.
Yeah, which might have been true, bro. It's a work, Jim. It's a work. We're
God
working.
damn it, Vince.
Oh, but the Ultimate Warrior character, it's a work. So speaking of a work, bro, the second half of Cena's shit was good. He turned babyface on SmackDown, like as you said. The Cody match was phenomenal at SummerSlam. The AJ Styles match was great. The Lesnar match was nothing special. It was a weird match.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Brock Lesnar, bro. I know you love Hosses. We talked about that. You enjoyed.
We talked about that privately, bro.
Possibly the
Haas Funk is my favorite,
and especially you like Hosses that are of African American descent. I've noticed that you start.
Obafemi, bro. Obafemi.
Bobby Lindsay, Obafemi. Who else have you appreciated? Let's just put it that way, because I don't want to insult you. There's been a few. Bob Sapp, you were a big mark for Bob Sapp back in the day.
No, but he's awesome, though. He's awesome. All right, what do you think about Dragon Slayer? Cena should have won against Lesnar. How do you feel about that?
No.
I don't think it mattered.
First of all, but even so, look. Oh, we have to go back to the previous one, because we have to tell the people. Somebody asked, where did that whole? Oh, Salvador Lutheroth. He asked.
Yeah, but you said you wanted to save that for the end of the show. That's why I put it away.
Oh, okay, we'll save it to the end of the show.
Do you want to do you want to cover it now or do it at the end of the show?
Well, I want to educate the people on why the tradition of the person that's going out does the honors, as Steve Austin would say, to the person that's staying. It makes complete. It makes complete logical sense money-wise.
And I want to let me let them know something. So we're gonna save the super chats for the end of the show. But in this case, because David Salvador's question is actually one that Draven needs to explain to people,
I'm gonna imagine we're in Japan, bro, and I'm gonna call this guy Salvador David.
That works, bro. And so the idea here is we're not gonna get all the super chats early in the show, but this is a timely topic. So yeah. The doing the honors, as they say, is something that everybody did when they were on their way out of the territory. Not just retiring, but if one guy was going to go from Florida to Vern, from Vern to Don Owens, they would lose on their last night, get the next guy over.
That's a big. They're going to make a lot less money if they're going from Vern to Don Owens, bro.
Anyway, a lot less, bro. But they'll be able to crack bottles over their head and fuck other wrestlers' sisters, and it's okay. So do you want to continue about that? Do we have a record of because I imagine that tradition started all the way back with the Gold Dust trio, bro, with Toots and those guys, bro.
It works in two ways. It works in the booker is able to kind of cash out, because what happened is that back in the territory days, you would put in your 2-week notice. And when you would put in your 2-week notice, you would do the honors on the way out. You would job, because what you're doing is you're using your established name to give heat to the young guys that are coming up. So you're giving them credibility by losing to them. And that's kind of like where the tradition started. And it goes all the way back, because why would you want somebody who's going to leave your territory to continue to get wins? Essentially, you're promoting them on your television for them to be able to make money somewhere else. So you don't want to do that. It reminds me of what Aurelian Smith Jr., a.k.a. Jake the Snake, did that one time. They had brought in Muhammad Ali to the territory, and Muhammad Ali punched them, and Aurelian Smith didn't sell it. And then I think it was Muhammad. It couldn't have been Muhammad Ali. It was one of these boxers that was looking for a paycheck. Maybe Joe Frazier, who knows? And then he was asked by the promoter, why did you do that? Why didn't you sell for him? And then Jake the Snake goes, well, I'm going to be here next Sunday. He's not going to be here next Sunday. So that's why it's like, in other words,
I'll be here with 2 women and 2 with toys.
What Jake was saying is that he still has to draw money in the territory, whereas the person that's on their way out no longer has to do that. So John Cena's name value, right, because he has a lot of equity with his name, could be transferred over to somebody else. Brock Lesnar, look, I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar for a lot of reasons now, but also even besides that, just as a wrestler, he's not entertaining to me anymore. I think he's lazy. I think he doesn't want to, But the bottom line is that they chose him. They continue to choose him. Because much like Danny, they like horses themselves. They're into horses. So it wouldn't have made sense for John Cena to drop a fall to Lesnar when Lesnar has to draw next year, possibly with Gunther. I even heard scuttlebutt about now Oba Femi and Lesnar maybe getting matched up down the line. So you want Lesnar. So here's the way it works, folks. It's like a passing of the torch. That's why the term passing of the torch exists.
And doing the honors. There's a time-honored tradition.
Right. Cena gives the torch to Lesnar, and everything that Cena represents goes in. We have a lot of neurodivergent people here, so just think about it in like anime terms or like superpower terms, okay? John Cena gives his powers to Lesnar, and then Lesnar eventually will give his powers, which in theory are his powers and Cena's powers, over to an Oba Femi or a Gunther, and then they will do that, and so on and so forth. And
can I give them a Dragon Ball analogy? Because
Toriyama was a great. Because as enviers that they are, that works sometimes. Remember, with enviers,
ND. And neurodivergent.
Man, you're an asshole, bro.
And the NT is neurotypical.
With NDs, as you call them, the more you simplify, the easier it is to understand. So give the people I'm going to give them
an actual Dragon Ball
analogy.
Dragon Ball oftentimes will take the heel from the previous arc and use them to get somebody else over. Goku in the Frieza saga, he's the tippy top villain. At the beginning of the next arc, Frieza's revealed to be alive. He survived the battle. He gets killed by Trunks. Trunks then tells Goku about the next enemy, which is the cyborgs. That's literally how wrestling does it. They jobbed out the previous heel, and now the guy that beat the previous heel is saying, it's basically the Virgil as Survivor Series 92. Brett, there's this Yokozuna. His guy is tough. That's what Trunks did to go.
I thought you were going to say Virgil at WrestleMania 4, bro, when Hogan doesn't go with the suplex on him.
That's right. Or Virgil at WrestleMania 36 when he conned me out of $20. 37. No, I got the picture with him.
That's true.
And I popped them when I mentioned meat sauce. Now, we have to make this. The thing is, I've noticed a lot of wrestling fans. This is going to sound condescending, but a lot of wrestling fans don't know shit about the business. It's very rare for a guy to win on his way out. Yes, Sting won on his way out. Undertaker won. Sting and Undertaker. The reason why Draven and I laughed so hard at Javon Evans getting the streak is because the Undertaker is not just a wrestler. He's not just a man. The Undertaker is a supernatural creature in the canon of WWE. He's not just a guy. He literally has powers. So when a guy like the Undertaker retires and in the match teleports behind AJ Styles, literally, this is not like John Cena. John Cena in the universe of WWE is a very strong bodybuild muscle guy, but he's just a human being. Yeah, there's Super Cena, right? But he's just a human being. Whereas the Undertaker and Sting were they're just larger than life, characters. You can't do that with everyone. And I'm happy that TK treated the retirement of Sting with so much respect. Liger won his last couple of matches. I was there for that.
Justin Thunder Liger, yes.
Now, what do you count Austin over Kevin Owens, or do you think the Austin Rock match was really his last match?
No, I count Austin over Kevin Owens. Let's talk about another point. That's very.
There are some examples. Yeah. So I'm trying to say it's very rarely do they win.
This is not only a rule of wrestling. This is a liveism. As Danny with his ND that he's struggling with, he's trying to get out of this black or white thing.
Oh, I'm not struggling.
Okay. Well, he's trying to get out of this black or white thinking. That's the thing about the internet. It's very black or white, right? All or nothing mentality. A cognitive distortion.
No matter if you're black or white.
So here's the deal. Like, everything has nuance. Everything has a case-by-case thing. There is times, and it depends on the circumstance, where the babyface or the guy leaving the territory should win. Here's what happened last night. I'm going to tell you what happened. Plain and simple. Paul Levesque, Cena, and all the creative staff, they were going with the statistical probability of the status quo, and it just didn't work out. People rejected that. It's a learning opportunity is what it is. It's not. I don't really blame.
We're all learning here, Tony.
I don't really blame Cena or Paul, because they were just literally going by the playbook. That's literally all they were doing.
Cena's the one that came up with that finish.
Yeah. But Paul's Paul, bro. Paul has authority to veto. Don't let.
Yeah, Paul was the one. Paul was the one that booked Gunther in that position. Cena was the one that chose to.
But Paul also has power over Cena. Paul could have vetoed that if he felt that wasn't the correct finish.
True. No, I'm with you. But what I'm saying is that they felt that the finish they came up with was right. And one thing that I do want to discuss about that.
But what I'm trying to say before you got, but what I'm trying to say is that it's okay to make a mistake. You don't have to justify mistakes. They made a mistake last night. They didn't foresee how somebody like Cena, maybe somebody like Cena is an Undertaker. He is in Sting territory.
To those people, for sure.
One of the rarefied air where you're hanging up above in the gods, bro. And so, like you said, to that fan base. And so Paul Levesque last night made a mistake, and hopefully it's a learning opportunity. He owns up to it instead of trying to justify it. Because last night in the post-game show, bro, they were already doing what they default to, which is very beta, where you start making fun of the audience for rejecting your product. They were doing that in the post-game show.
That's a Triple H classic, bro.
But I mean, that's a people classic. That's everybody does that. Everybody gets defensive. Me and you have talked about it, bro.
Okay, fair enough.
When we get criticized, instead of being curious, right, asking why did this happen, we get defensive. Well, fuck you. I know what's right. And so last night in the post-game show, they had Pete Rosenberg, bro, one of our favorites from one of the greatest interviews of all time. He was kind of mocking the audience. He was like, well, you guys wanted Super Cena because all of us. No, he was saying for years everybody was criticizing Super Cena, which is right. Super Cena this, Super Cena that, Super Cena. Because Cena was kind of like a Peggy Sue for a long time, or whatever the fuck you call those.
Mary Sue. Well, okay, hold on. I want to say something before you, because you're going off, and I respect that. I love it. I want to say something though. I am going to play devil's advocate with you about the finish. I understand people being upset, but I also understand what John Cena's logic was, and I want to explain to the people what I think they were going for. Because people were saying he shouldn't have given up. Let me actually address this. This comment right here is not just Dragon Slayer. A lot of people have been saying Cena should have passed out instead of tapping out. The way that I viewed that is very similar to Cena fought 4 or 5 times out of the sleeper. He broke it. He got him up. He just continued to fight. But Gunther kept on him. Gunther's got 2 decades to go, and he's in his prime. Cena's past his prime in this story. So when Gunther locked it for the last time and Cena had that little smile, right? That little smile was basically him saying, you got me. And he tapped out. That is what people have to understand about tapping out. And I'm going to talk about UFC here and Pride, which is way better than UFC. If you tapping out,
just that pause me, bro.
Yeah, well, because you know it's true. Tapping out does not make you a pussy. It does not make you weak. When you're having a jiu-jitsu contest and somebody out jiu-jitsus you, it's like playing chess. Okay, checkmate. You got me. It's better than getting your arm snapped. So Cena's whole thing, the way I viewed that finish was Cena basically saying, this is my last match. I don't want to pass out. I'm going to tap. I'm going to give this guy his flowers. and that'll be it. I don't think he went against his morals. I saw people saying it hurt the Cena character, but he's retiring anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that's my sort of. It's not a full defense of that finish. I do have an alternate finish I want to pitch to you, though.
It better not be like one of your wacky Vince Russo bringing a lawyer involved and, bringing the ex-wife. So
come on, Draven. Why don't you hire a nanny?
like your CM Punk story in AEW was horrendous, bro. Where you had a lawyer involved.
No, it wasn't.
You had a fucking. I think you had a midget, bro. You had a midget that would come out and say things are looking up. That was your idea.
Wasn't me. That wasn't me. But all right. Actually, before we go on with that, hold on. I want to share something here. I'm gonna pop you.
I think you also have one on your Discord, by the way. It might have been the same midget.
Well, I do, but I want everybody to look at the screen right now. Draven knows what this is.
Can't hear shit. I can't hear shit.
Hold on. Let me make sure that we actually have it set so you can hear.
Bro, you need to be like Shawn Michael Hickenbottom and press the buttons like that.
Yeah, that was this era, bro. All right, ready? This is, wait a minute. Screen sharing was canceled. Make sure you hit, okay, hold on. Share screen. Give me just a minute. All right. And share. Okay. I'm going to hit, you're going to hear double audio for a second, but this is what Draven and I were talking about. This is one I went to this. You're about to see a Geekdom 101 cameo right here.
And despite the match being a good match, it was overshadowed by a complete character break from HBK.
Again, Michaels goes right back over. Special Olympian on the other side of the ring.
During the match, a Special Olympian got overexcited to see his favorite wrestler compete, so he jumped the barricade. Security promptly tried to get him back over the barrier, and they used a bit of force. However, HBK realized that the fan clearly didn't mean to cause any harm, so he stepped in. HBK made the security guards ease up on the vulnerable fan and made sure that the fan was safe and got to the backstage area without anyone harming him. This was a great show of character from the heel HBK, who at the time was no doubt struggling with personal demons, so it was great to see that he was still in fact a great human being.
Yeah, but hey, they don't show Jim Ross debuting the term little fella.
No, that's right. But they did show Special Olympian, which he just assumed, bro. And also, this is the era where Shawn Michaels started saying, I got 2 words for you, pills and pancakes. That was this era, bro. So,
which he was in 93.
And 97. Remember, he was fucked up for a while. So that's my sort of, so here's my finish. Okay, so I think Gunther winning is the right move for the future, because I think the idea is that now they're actually going to do Gunther and Lesnar, with the story being that Gunther retired 2 of Lesnar's 4. So if you look at Lesnar's biggest rivals, John Cena, Kurt Angle, Roman Reigns, and Goldberg, he's had the most big matches with those 4 guys. If Gunther comes out and says, I retired 2 of those 4 guys, you're next. First of all, Matt Riddle's going to be pissed off, but who cares? Gunther, the story's already there. So I think there's one way they could have made John Cena win this match, and I think the fans would have liked this finish more. I want to get your thoughts, and I want to get thoughts from people in the chat. So here's my finish. One way that John Cena could have won the match, and it still would have been good, is it's a Bret Hart finish. Gunther's trying to choke out Cena, but he can't. At one point, he power bombs him like 3 times, and Cena's out. But Gunther doesn't want to win by pinfall. He wants to choke him out. So instead of doing the right thing, which is turn him over and pin him, he's picking him up for one more sleeper. Cena small package, 1, 2, 3. That's how you do it. Then Gunther realizes, holy shit, if I wasn't fucking around so much, I could have pinned this guy. But I wanted to make him tap out because my ego got in the way, and it cost me. I think that's the only way they could have had Cena win, to where Gunther wasn't entirely buried.
No, I like that plan. Well, I like that idea, but I also like your idea where they could go now, for the future, because I am hearing all of a sudden WWE, and this is what's happening, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and educate people on why Paul Levesque has sucked, and he has sucked for many years.
He has not been good this year for certain. We agree on that.
He has not been good the year before either. But here's the deal. He's starting to understand that these retirement tours equal money. So now there's scuttlebutt, very reliable scuttlebutt that came out that now they want to book retirement tours. They want to retire Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
This is your boy, by the way.
They want to retire Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2026 in Minnesota. Then if they bring Jericho in January, they want to plan out his retirement tour for 2027. And so now they're seeing that retirements are big business.
AJ's got one coming up. Right?
And to me, that's a crutch, bro, because, again, I see John Cena this year as the Goldberg in 98. We saw
this would pop me.
We saw the cracks in the foundation of WCW back in 97, but because of Goldberg, they got a whole nother year of a big run. Same thing this year. We saw the cracks in the foundation in 2024 of the Paul Levesque regime, but because of John Cena, if you compare the houses, right? If you compare the houses and all that stuff, John Cena really lifted the company up in his 36 dates and really upped the average. So I want to see what happens. And
why? Scarcity effect. I'm leaving. This is your last chance to see me. Basic psychology, right?
Yes. And
Cena, I want to know how much money Cena made this year, bro. This had to have been one of the biggest, if not the biggest, merch year for John Cena.
Who do you think paid him more, him or Mark Sinclair, bro?
No, it wasn't like it was Ice Cube.
Well, we don't know, bro. Mark Sinclair pays a lot of people.
Yeah, he does.
Tyrese, Ludacris.
Who was in the chat at one point? Tyrese Gibson, bro. But yeah, I do agree. Paul Levesque has not been a good booker this year at all. This show, I think, was not very well booked, like the overall show. I'm hoping it gets better, but I have doubts, man. I just don't think. I don't like to be negative about wrestling. It's just I don't see anything
that's stop the presence on that statement, bro. I don't believe that at all. But here's the deal.
Well, I've changed a lot, bro.
In 2 weeks, bro. But here's the deal. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say, bro. You flustered me with the whole gimmick of I'm gonna change.
I apologize. We're talking about Triple H, the booker this year. Paul Levesque is a booker this year.
Yeah, I mean,
you were saying he hasn't been good.
He's just been very lucky, man. He's been very lucky in metrics that we don't understand. Like anybody who studies the business as close as I do, we've never seen this. Like, we've never seen a product be so bad and people just go. Like, it's almost like a cult now at this point. And look,
and the ticket prices keep going up.
And why wouldn't they?
Things are looking up.
It's business. It's business. Look, here's the deal, bro. Because of your new little business that you shared with me before we got on the air that I'm not going to say right here because it's your job to announce it to the world. I don't ever want to hear you talk shit ever about WWE raising their prices and exploiting their fan base, because anybody that's in business inherently is exploiting someone, okay? Look.
Well, I am going to do a retirement tour like John Cena where I'm going to have a whole year of one last year of videos. I am doing that.
Okay, well, I think you said that last year. You're more like
no. Hold on. Time out. I didn't say I was gonna do it now. I'm saying when the time comes for me to retire, I'm gonna do a thing like Cena, bro.
You're more like Terry Funk, bro. You're gonna have like 3 or 4 of those.
You know what? That's fine, bro. Because as long as the marks keep paying.
Come on, Terry.
Come on, yeah. No, come on. You're a son of a bitch, and Lawler, he's a son of. Come on, Terry. No, Terry.
He refused to become a cartoon like the stuff that he was called.
No, my favorite one, bro, is when the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant's cutting a promo, and Lance Russell's like, you ought to be ashamed. I love it, bro. He's like a grandfather to these people, bro.
Bro, Art Tellings, bro. He asked a good question. He's like, who are you going to put over when you retire, bro?
Nobody, bro, because nobody can fill these shoes. Unlike John Cena, I'm not tapping out, my friend.
Are you gonna take off your chancletas, bro? One of them that blew up, and are you gonna put them in the screen and then just leave it?
Yes, I am, bro. And the hat, and I'll put the hat on the fucking screen, bro.
But that's not the RoboCop. That's not the RoboCop hat.
I got that one up here, bro.
Which you attended Garrett's wedding for, bro. Wearing the RoboCop.
That's right. And Dave Meltzer said that. Didn't Dave say it was a 4.5-star wedding, bro? He wouldn't even give him the full 5, bro. That's his best friend. He wouldn't even give him the full 5, bro. Or he should have had it in the Tokyo Dome.
7 stars.
That's right. So, what do you call it? So, yeah. So, what is your assessment on Cena's 2025? And then we can go back and talk about his career. If you want to go all the way back to UPW.
We've seen worse. I think Goldtur's career and certainly ended a lot worse. I think he didn't get any respect at all.
He was very upset last night, I'm sure.
Right, and you know, there's something to that. Him and Paul never saw eye to eye. Maybe that was Paul's last jab. You know, we'll never know, I guess. And so we've seen worse. We've seen worse retirements, ceremonies.
And the good thing is, and this is, we got to think about this. I think one of the things I've been talking a lot about lately is this word gratitude, and I've talked to you a little bit about it. Sometimes we have to have gratitude for what we have. Here's the good thing about Cena retiring. He didn't end up in a wheelchair the rest of his life. He didn't end up being crippled. It wasn't like he retired because of injuries. He's still a pretty healthy guy. He's got $80 million in the bank. Like, it's better for him to retire on his terms. That's okay. Hulk Hogan, same thing. But it's better for him to retire on his terms than if it were if other than it being an injury or something like that.
If it was brushing his teeth in a hotel room and just dropped dead.
Come on, bro. I thought I was gonna be the first one to go there, and you went there before me. The anniversary's this year, bro.
Well, every year's an anniversary, bro.
No, but the 20-year anniversary is what I mean. Nice round number. That's my neurodivergence, bro.
That's the end. That's gonna be my go-to.
See, I'm alpha, so I have. That's what I recognize. I recognize my ND, bro.
Oh, you just said the anniversary is this year, which is like it's
20-year anniversary,
bro. Guess what? I was born one year, and this year I have an anniversary of me being born.
Yes, you do, bro. Birthday, and that's good. That's good. What I'm saying is John Cena did not go out hurt. He didn't end up like Randy the Ram Robinson, bro.
Hey, that one's on my. That's a spoiler alert. No, listen. Do you think that John Cena could still get it up for the fat chicks? Because you know what? As you get older, and you know this, because you're
Blue Chew.
One of the things. Well, no, but that's usually in outside substances. One of the things that you and Cena have very little in common. Let's be real about it. But what you do have in common is that both of you guys are fat chick thrillers. Now,
I was in a previous life.
As you get older, because our gimmick starts malfunctioning, it's harder to get excited for a woman in a bigger body.
Speak for yourself.
And John Cena was the guy that was notorious for that, to the point that
he got his ball snipped like JD.
Because he wanted to fuck on the road, but to the point where
coming inside a chick, it feels good, bro.
Damn, bro, that came out of nowhere. But
no, it didn't. It's true.
But let me tell you this. So as you get older, it gets harder. You need something more stimulating.
No, it doesn't get harder. It gets more difficult because it's not harder.
The flagpole is very difficult to be at full salute. So John Cena went on Howard Stern, and he gave the ratio of weights of the women that he had slept with. He said,
I love this.
Much like our boy Herman Stevens did all those years ago on Nitro. He said he started with 240 pounds, then went up to 260, and then he told Howard Stern, the night before I was with a 270, and Howard Stern popped because he couldn't believe it.
But unlike Jamie Dundee, he didn't tame two 400-pounders with a 4-incher. His words, not mine.
Yeah, he likes you and him like tortas, bro. That's the bottom line.
I had one the other day, actually. Legit, as a shoot, I had a torta, bro. They're good.
Did you hold the bread?
No, I had it with the bread,
bro,
because
I'm proud of you, bro.
because the way that the Mexican lady near my house makes it, bro, they use that nice bread. Hell yeah, bro.
So I'm glad you ate some bread, bro. I'm glad you enjoyed some of life, because that diet that you do, bro, it's inhuman.
No, the diet that I do is actually the original human diet that we ate for millions of years when we were stronger. That's the diet that
the carnivore one.
Now, John Cena apparently stole Too Cool's gimmick, according to Jamie Dundee.
Before we go into like his quick career retrospective, bro, I do want to say a couple of things. There's a dark side to John Cena. I did not like. Oh shit.
Are you popping already, bro?
Well, I just saw what it said on there. Listen, let me say this before you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and because I want your opinion on this. First, of all,
sure, definitely.
I was very disappointed at his interviews as he was leaving the territory, because I don't know how many you saw. He was doing the rounds. He did
Rogan. He did
Bill Simmons,
McAfee, the CVV guy, and I saw the McAfee one. I didn't finish the Rogan one. I did not see the other. I missed a lot of them, bro.
Hopefully you got the gist about what I'm about to say. First of all, he came off there as really fake, very diplomatic,
very corporate, right?
All of a sudden, he was Rocky Balboa in the movie Rocky Balboa, where he was this philosopher that just understood everything, which is dumb, bro. It's dumb. And I think that Paul Levesque really wants that, because the whole gimmick of John Cena's final year in the business was that he was a very unselfish guy who worked overtime, who put over the young guys. And I think Paul Levesque wants like a representation of that for his young guys as a way to control them, right? So now all of a sudden it's like, well, Cena did that. Why can't you do that? And so I thought it came off
that's a Vince trick. He would do bumps and spots, and the idea was, well, if he's willing to do it, you should be able to do it. That's an old
it's a manipulation
tactic. I was just gonna say that, bro.
Yeah. So,
and I'm not a PhD.
Exactly. So NDs, there's a lot of NDs that are PhDs, by the way.
No, I know there are.
So it's not impossible for you.
Melvin, how you going, mate? Fair dinkum.
I am no fan of Vanilla Ice, but the PG-13.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Interviews.
This is Draven says this is my greatest discovery that I ever found. Even though he already had it.
Bro, Frente de Bistec is wondering if you could handle his sister, bro.
I know. I put the quote up.
Them fucking tennis.
I'm sure I could, bro. Unlike Vampiro, I have one of these, but he Master Splinter made him watch Jerry Lawler matches to learn how to wrestle.
Cowabunga.
You must watch it. Jerry the King Lawler's.
Ain't no better than me today.
Nitron.
So the answer to your question is, so what? So motherfucking.
I should actually play the part where he talks about Thunderbolt Patterson, but I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube.
No. That'll kick us off.
Right.
So kind of segues into what I was going to tell you. So I thought he came off as very fake, very inauthentic when he was doing all whatever. That's business. But then there's also this. A lot of people have come out. David Otunga, Maven. They've said that John Cena could be an asshole, because one of the things that John Cena
JTG,
yes, the neighborhoody. One of the things that John Cena is trying to get over is that he never he never chooses nothing. He says, "Oh, well, that's not my job. My job is for me to work. I don't script nothing. That's Paul's job." Well, we know that's bullshit, because one of the most famous stories is how he buried the Nexus in one night at SummerSlam back in 2010, or 11.
You know what it reminds me of? Recently, The Undertaker did something very similar.
Oh, James Tyler said Alex Riley too.
Man,
I forgot about Alex Riley, bro.
So Undertaker did something very similar where he's like, if I had power, I didn't use it. And it's like, yes, you did. We've heard stories, bro.
Yeah.
We've heard stories. And I'm not talking about dirt sheet stories that are rumors. We've had former writers come out and talk about Undertaker bearing fucking other writers.
Bro, he fired Chronic in one night, bro. Kalanick, one of your boys.
Yes, he did.
Two of your boys.
Did, bro. The Brian.
And Brian Adams was his boy. He was his best friend. And he
still
fired him.
Yeah, fucking him and fucking Adam Bomb, who got an Adam Bomb tattoo.
Look how he treated DD Me, bro. He made him.
What's worse, bro? Getting an Adam Bomb tattoo on your arm or an AEW tattoo on your calf, bro?
AEW tattoo, bro.
I agree. They're both bad though.
Or what about a American Nightmare one on your neck?
No, that's the worst one. Or what about the belly button Batista? Or what about when Hogan shaved his chest hair to be like an atomic bomb going off, bro? Terry Boulder.
R.I.P. bro. R.I.P. Look.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if one could outweigh the other.
Yeah, Cena has a dark side. Yes.
Bro, let me see if one could outweigh the other. It makes you beta if you have the belly button tattoo. It does. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it.
And now he has no muscle, so he's even more beta.
Dwayne. Wait a minute, bro. I'm gonna hit you with the question here.
But what about
so you're beta if you have the belly button tattoo, because what you're saying, you're inviting. Let me see if I can say this without getting in trouble. You're inviting people of the same sex as you to make a move on you. It's essentially what's happening.
It's like having a tramp stamp. As I famously said in an old podcast, you're leaving too much to the imagination. But there's only one way to see that. Remember that podcast popped you, or maybe that was Zeros that popped.
So wait a minute. So then, but here's where Batista could fuck us up. He's like, okay, I might have the belly button tattoo, but do you have my resume with bitches? See, that's where he kind of gets us. So what do you got? Like
he's no CM Punk though.
But does the belly tattoo? Do we forgive that?
What about what's worse, the belly tattoo or Randy Orton with his cock out saying, "Hey, I'm Randy Orton," meeting new writers, bro? What about that?
That's alpha, bro, because he didn't give a fuck.
This guy said Batista gave him gay vibes, bro.
Yeah, that's why there's a segment on YouTube called Batista el Gay. That's a classic.
Yeah, that is correct.
Me gusta Rey Mysterio.
¿Te llamas Batista el Gay?
Sí. Me gusta que me ven.
Se nota que eres maricón del culito. Bueno, ¿por qué empezaste en el Presicat?
Bueno, la cosa empezó porque había muchos matizotes y estaban todos muy cachas. Estaban Triple H, Randy Orton, el mariconazo del enterrador, y el gay de Ric
El mariconazo de empedreador y el gay de Ric Flair.
Y entonces me apasionó la idea de entrar en ese club de gays.
Bueno, ¿y te gustó la experiencia que viviste? ¿So gay?
Bueno, la verdad es que sí. Me apasionó bastante, pero fue por enchufe.
What about the fact this YouTube channel is called Aquellos Pantalones del Undertaker? Look how he spelled Undertaker.
They spelled it with an accent, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. These guys are all marks for the show. They have to be. To spell Undertaker like that, bro. It's like Sangivi.
What about
Happy Sangivi.
What about the fact that Batista's like the one that's doing the dubbing is like an Argentinian guy, bro? He's not even trying to hide his accent.
But look at this. Créditos para el creador de este video que es desconocido y probablemente sea español. ¿Qué es eso del pressing catch? Si me dejan este video, yo lo voy a resubscribir ahora con el título de Batista, el caballero homosexual. I can't translate that into English because it's not as funny. Spanish cuss words are so much funnier than English cuss words, bro.
Yeah, maricón completo, bro.
Maricón, yeah, not just maricón completo.
Because
maricón después de viejo.
None of those make any fucking sense, dude. Because look, let's analyze maricón completo. Let's start right there. It's like when they ask you to dig half a hole. You can't dig half a hole. You either dig a hole or you don't. So maricón is you're either a maricón or you're not. Like, you can't be a maricón completo. It's impossible. Because the moment you give in to that lifestyle, you're in, you know?
That's
and
it.
Then and then maricón después de viejo is like, is there a point where you wake up as an older person and realize that you're a maricón? And now you're, it doesn't, yeah.
Here's the thing. In Cuba, we have multiple different ways to call you gay. We have ganso, which is somebody that gets fucked in his ass. We have bugarrón, which
Isn't
is the
Ganso
guy
the drummer from the Muppet Babies, bro? No, that's
yeah,
Animal.
with the nose going down. No, it's the one with the nose is ganso. And
the
we have,
bro, like John Cena with the fat chicks.
We have bugarrón, which is the guy that fucks the guy. Then we have maricón, which is the guy that does both. And then, of course, the Puerto Ricans. What's the one that Puerto Ricans say, bro?
They have a few too.
Pato, that's right, pato. They call him pato, bro. Like, yeah, there's a lot of different...
Alberto el Loco, bro? Was he a Ganso?
I had a feeling you were gonna bring him up, bro. No, I don't know what he was, bro. Are you gonna bring up the wheelchair? Bro? Are you gonna bring up the wheelchair story from the Batman?
No, that's when we get to when we switch it over to the movie thing, bro. It's two different parts of the brain.
All right, that's fine. That's fair.
Oh, bugarones. He's vente bistecs de bugarones, bro.
Yeah, I know, bro. Maybe he's Cuban. He's supposed to be Puerto Rican. So, he's supposed to be Rican, bro. Carlito Colon, bro. So, okay,
bro.
The colons. So where do you want to go from here? Do you want to? Yes, Cena has a dark side. Do you want to talk about that dark side, or do you want to move on?
What's there to say? I mean, he buried the Nexus, and that was messed up because he ruined a lot of careers. But no, we could start. We could just kind of go through kind of the years. I want you to kind of, because you're very dialed in. Your ND brain allows you to retain specific information,
especially from TNA from 2006. Go ahead, bro.
So it's fucked up because we used to credit your memory many years ago. Me and Gary used to give you a lot of credit for your memory, and here we are.
Wait a minute. It's still the brain, though. It's still the brain.
Yeah, but it's from another part of the brain.
I don't care.
So, anyways,
you want to go back to UPW 2000, 99,
with Dick 2000? Bassman, bro. What do you think of Dick Bassman? He found the Ultimate Warrior and John Cena.
And Samoa Joe. And Frank and Christopher Daniels, too.
Samoa Joe, bro. Come on.
Samoa Joe did
Remember, the only guy that's not part of the Samoan family, bro.
That's right. Well, remember, JC Mateo apparently isn't either, bro. So we found another one. That's one of Garrett's boys.
He's a redheaded stepchild of the Samoan clan. And remember, bro, Samoan Joe's disturbing because he's growing this way instead of this way, which is very awkward.
Well, we have a couple friends that do that too.
No, but his head, not his stomach, bro.
Well, we have friends that do that too. So, do you want to go all the way back to OVW, not Nitron, the prototype?
No, I'm going to ask you this. When was the first time you heard of John Cena? That's the first time.
The first time I heard of John Cena, I will tell you, there was a magazine that WWE put out at the end of 2001. It was at the end of 01, and the magazine, or maybe the end of 2000, one of those two. And it was like the end of the year, like WWF magazine, like special or whatever, where they had bios on all the wrestlers. In the back, they had a section called like the future. And that's when I first heard of Prototype, Leviathan, Russ Haas, with no dick, according to the reports.
With no dick, yes.
Rico Constantino, who at that time was supposed to be a big prospect. Cornette loved that guy.
But he was about 45 already.
Yeah, true. But he played a great El Gay when he fucking made it up, bro. Not as good as Batista.
What is this with the flowers? This is horrible. Yeah. When he was setting up for the wedding.
Which, speaking of which, the Island Boys were featured. Victoria.
Eki, bro, with 2 heart attacks, which always pops you, which is horrible.
That's right. In case people don't know,
let me ask you this, bro.
The Island Boys were a 3-minute warning.
Let me ask you this. The fact that Eki had to...
Eki, bro.
The fact that Eki had 2 heart...
You couldn't finish saying Eki without laughing, bro.
The fact that Eki had 2 heart attacks, that always pops you. Is that the ND side or the regular side?
That's just me, man.
Because it shouldn't pop you, but it does.
It's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation. I'm glad it's not me, man.
That's life.
I had
bro.
my own share of heart problems, but yeah, he didn't make it. So okay, so
yeah, the Island Boys.
So yeah, that's when I first heard
Rose's
of John
also
Cena.
gone, by the way.
For you, was it the Sheets, or was it he was on TV? Remember there was a show called Manhunt, and he was on there.
That's the first time I heard of him.
And he was the prototype on the show, I think.
Yeah, and he had the Bart Simpson hair.
Yeah, the Sting 93 haircut.
Right. No, the first time I heard of him was in the show Manhunt, and back in 1999 or 2000.
Yeah, it was right around then.
He was already making the rounds in the dirt sheets. Meltzer was starting to write about him because he was in a UPW, Dick Bassman's company.
Yep.
And then obviously
California.
they liked him, and then they brought him over to OVW in 2001. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but the class of 2001 in OVW was stacked, bro. And it wasn't even with the guys that made it. It had the American Dragon very early on. It had Jimmy Yang Wang. It had all these. Kashiyashi was in there, bro.
A lot of the guys from WCW wound up going there when the company folded.
Yes, and a lot of them got cut before they made it TV.
Right.
So that's when I first heard of him, and then he comes up in 2002 with the Ruthless Aggression gimmick,
the angle match,
which according to lore, it was supposed to be Kirk Angel versus The Undertaker, but The Undertaker got sick. This is the lore. And then they offered it to Angle, and Angle took it. Now, here's what a lot of people don't understand.
Cena. They offered it to Cena.
Cena.
Right.
Now, here's what a lot of people don't understand. He actually didn't get over. They did put a rocket up his ass a little bit, because then he ended up feuding with Jericho, and they had a match at Vengeance 2002, and he actually beat Jericho. It was a slip on a banana ending, but he beat him.
Yeah, this is pre-basic thugonomics. This is John Cena. I'm a wrestler. That with tights. That's
right. And so then because I was very dialed into 2002 because I just watched it like 4 years ago, the whole run. Then he started teaming with Billy Kidman. That's when you know the shit's written on the wall for him. They started teaming him with Billy Kidman as this weird tag team where they were wrestling like other mid-level guys. And then
this is the era of the SmackDown 6.
Right. And then he kind of disappeared. And then he was brought back, and this is pretty. Now it's legendary to me. He was brought back in that skit that Halloween SmackDown where he was Vanilla Ice, and then that. So they took him off. They took him off.
That was the birth of basic thugonomics.
So with Stephanie McMahon showing her gifts,
and she was fat for a while, so maybe he. No, I don't think he got her.
Well, that was the question we got earlier. So, but Randy,
I saw that question.
He wasn't Randy. Was his last name Poffle? No, then that's your answer.
Okay, she wasn't 15 at the time either.
So, anyways, so he disappears from TV from August to around October, and that's when you were wondering, is he going to be fired? That's where all the stories came from, and then
something happened on the bus, right? According to Cena told the story,
and Stephanie.
And Stephanie. Of course she did to put herself over. The Hall of Famer Stephanie.
Yeah, and what she quote unquote didn't know. And then so he's in the back of the bus with Spanky. Remember Spanky, bro? And the Island Boys.
I popped at this. Yoko Tuna was the first one. He's a Kuma in the new Street Fighter.
Yeah,
movie.
a Coomer. We're gonna call him a Coomer, like Taz. Taz would call him.
Yeah.
So then he's in the back of the bus, and he's with Spanky, the Island Boys, the whole crew, right? And then he fucking starts rapping, and Stephanie hears him, and he's really good at I don't know, I'm not into hip. They call them bars, guys that bars, right?
Bars is like good rhymes.
Okay, so he's good at bars. Look at me now, bro. I'm more about candy bars, but at that time it's bars.
Mm-hmm.
And so. Yeah, man.
I'm into gold bars and investments.
Then all of us, the son of the miser, bro. Austin Kinko, he always brings out the gold. So then they went to Vince. Vince ran with it, and then like you said, that SmackDown in Halloween, the debut of Basic Thugonomics, and then he didn't get the rocket up his ass that right away.
No,
bro.
he teamed with Bull Buchanan for a while as B Squared, and they were like a velocity type team.
Yeah, and then the gimmick there was
he literally went from low card all the way to main event within like a 2-year span. Like he literally went all the way
That's not
up.
that impressive, bro. A lot of people do that.
No, it's not. But he almost got fired, and that according to the lore, and that's interesting, you know.
Yes. So then so he's with B Square, which I'm surprised they didn't dug up and brought him to the show last night.
Right.
And then the gimmick there, bro, it was pretty clever, but it did have a shelf life where it was like every time John Cena would spit out some rhymes, B Square would go booyah. That was his gimmick, bro. And then they when they saw that there was the future in John Cena, they split him up right away because that was a comedy act, and then they wanted to make Cena more of a serious guy.
Yeah, because those raps were all written by him. The writers didn't have to write those for him, and that helped him. That's almost like Austin and the old school guys that figure out how to talk. His way was coming up with the basic thugonomics raps, and they got over because they were funny as fuck. Go back and watch 03, bro.
Bro, Slappy House brought up Red. Bro, Slappy House popping right now because he brought up Red Dog, bro. That's going well.
You know who this is. You hung out with this guy before. In real life.
Okay, well, there's that, bro. That could mean a lot of people.
Well, I was there too, so that narrows it down, bro. And it wasn't Ed Laredo, bro, at the hotel. So 03 was the year that I think he really started to blow up. He had the Lesnar feud where he said, "Your finisher's the F5, well, mine's the FU." And I saw people on Twitter, and this is like fucking, you and I talk about this a lot. Did you know that John Cena, breaking news, John Cena modeled his move FU over Lesnar's F5? And I'm like, why is that breaking news? That was on TV. It wasn't like it was an insider thing. It was a promo he cut in front of a laptop building up to Backlash.
That's right. And what I loved about that Backlash main event, bro, they were both getting the little test, right? It was two guys.
This is a funny question, but go ahead.
We'll get to it right now. There was two guys that were relatively green. Lesnar was already the champion because they put the rocket up his ass big time.
He won it at WrestleMania. But on the go-home show to WrestleMania, him and Cena had a brawl. They were already working on Backlash because Kurt Angle had been hurt during that time and couldn't do that much. So Cena would step in and replace him on the house shows.
Right.
And I know because I went to one.
Yes. And so I really like that Backlash because it really was them giving two really young guys the shot to main event at the end. They got about 20 minutes. It wasn't. Nobody really talks about.
Well, that wasn't the end. The end was Goldberg and Rock. That was the main event.
That's right. That was the middle one. Okay, well, but they still gave him a shot. But the first time where I feel that Cena got the real spotlight, this is what nobody talks about, is when he had that rap battle at WrestleMania 19. Who was the rapper they tried to hire, bro? It was
they tried to get Jay-Z or Fabulous, and they both declined it. That's what
yes, and then he had the.
And it was on the pre-show.
He had the mini me stand with their face on it, bro, and he was doing this shit. And then I have the pre-show still on my DVD copy of that show. And then another cool thing, really quick, before Basic Thugonomics, which is a great song. I wish they would have played it last night. He had that generic rap song with the beat. That was another thing people forget about with the chicka chicka chicka, and then he would come out and his whole entrance, bro, he would rap the entire entrance from beginning to end. He would just rap, and it would be
like Jamie Dundee, bro. And they both tame 400-pounders. So
and then he started carrying around a bag of peanuts.
Now here's the question: did John Cena ever refer to African gentlemen with the terminology that Jamie Dundee used?
Well, not in person, not in as far as there's no record.
Not until we get a recording, bro, like Terry Jean.
But he did hang around with the Samoan, so
answer this question, bro. Yes or no?
If you think Nia Jax was in the Ruthless, of course. Are you kidding me? She was prime for that. Hell yeah!
Remember,
he might have done it.
She was on my list.
He might have done it even now.
Well, he's married now. Hopefully, he's in deeper hell, as you would say.
The thing about Nia Jax, bro, is that she's like a cluster B, and she's very like, I don't see her allowing you to have a one-night stand with her without any consequences. Let's put it that way.
You mean like what happened with Mickey James and Cena, bro? Remember that story?
Why
Not the Steamboat one. Not the Steamboat one. The Mickey James one with Cena. That's later though.
And
That's down the timeline.
use the M, don't use the P, because we don't go there anymore.
Wait, use the what?
The M, Mickey. Her name's Mickey, not the other.
Yeah, I didn't call her Piggy. She was never even fat, bro. Like they were dicks to her. So here's what happened. So
or
Cena
Natty's not fat either, bro.
So in 03, Cena really got the rocket up his ass. I mentioned the Lesnar feud. He had a Taker feud in the summer where he lost that vengeance, but he looked good. And it was because it was a play on what happened the previous year. Then he had a very brief feud with Eddie Guerrero for the U.S. title.
I love that feud, bro.
Where he did the FU on the rim.
No, well, didn't they have a blow off where they had like a street fight where all the cars were surrounded and
something like that.
It was like John Claude Van Damme, like that movie Lionheart, bro, where John Claude Van Damme fights the guy with the car surrounding the.
Yeah, it was the Steve Blackman and Ken Shamrock did the same thing.
Right. And then you had all the boys like cheering them on right there, all the mid carders, bro.
I do remember this, bro. This was awesome. When Cena took a piss in the cemetery.
Dude, I remember back then.
I love that era.
But I was so upset at that ending, bro, because it was Taker pulling a power play. Like, dude, just put the young guy over, bro. Like, why did he have to win, you know?
He was being set up for Brock, I think, at No Mercy or whatever.
That's true. But still, like, dude, put the young guy over. But he had a good showing. And then he went,
on the rim.
He went from Taker, then he
Eddie Guerrero.
And then he went to Kurt Angle, right? Because then he had the Kurt Angle feud.
No, then is when he started to go babyface late in the year, right? And if you remember, he was the fifth guy on Team Angle against Lesnar's team, which was managed by Heyman, and that was the night he got a huge babyface pop at Survivor Series. And then what happened? He teamed with Angle. He didn't feud with him. That was later. And then what happened was he had a brief TV feud with Chris Benoit. They won this battle royal. They did the Razor Ramon model gimmick from '93. So the last two guys in the battle royal would have a match, and the winner would face Brock on the last SmackDown of the year. Benoit ends up beating Cena, but the match is really good. Of course, it's Benoit. Then Lesnar beats Benoit with the Brock lock. And then Cena ends up starting his feud with he had a brief feud, very brief, with Kurt Angle, very brief. It was not the real Kurt Angle feud. That would be later. Then came WrestleMania, him and the Big Show for the U.S. title.
What I like about the feud, there's a couple things I want to say.
Now we're in 04.
What I like about the feud with Kirk Angel, no, not Kirk Angel, with Big Blow, with Big Slow.
Okay, so I was wrong. He did have a brief feud with Kurt Angle in 03 and in 04. He feuded with Kurt Angle in 03, 04, 05, and 06.
That's why he was
and
there
02.
last night. You know,
02.
Kurt Angle was there last night looking very ND, by the way.
Beady eyes, bro. Beady eyes.
I like how ND is a word now.
It's always been a word, especially in your line of work.
I think it's gonna be replaced, but with Little. I think we're gonna retire Little Fella, bro, and we're gonna replace it with ND.
No, we can never retire that. So this is correct. Yeah. Then after No Way Out, so this version of the feud, the 03 feud, Angle was the face and Cena was the heel. By this point, they had flipped. Angle was being set up for Eddie, so he ended up winning the match, but Cena would go on to win the U.S. title from Big Show. That was his first WrestleMania. That was his coming out party.
Bro, this guy, Mark Hatch, 98, 93. This is wacky, bro. He says WWE.
I mean, he's not wrong. The second half of 07 is kind of trash.
No, but I think he was. I think Mark Hatch said he's saying like in general, like they haven't been able to recuperate since that time, bro.
I don't know about that.
They had 700. They had almost 1 million people in the queue waiting in line for tickets for Saudi Arabia, bro. This guy's
people or what was the colorful language you used to describe those people on text to me, bro?
That's Saudi Arabians. I respect those people, bro. They got good beliefs, very traditional beliefs. No, but look at this guy, Mark Hatch says They went downhill after Benoit R.I.P. Bro. This motherfucker's asking for a Saturday Night's main event level show on Chris Benoit at this point.
That would have been something. Kurt Angle would have been there too. So then came Cena in 04. Now this is where things start getting a little bit weird.
No, let me pause you there.
You and I have talked about this.
Okay. Do you remember the controversy with Michael Purely Sexy Hayes at the end at that go-home show for Survivor Series 03? Do you remember that?
I do not remember that.
That made
was
news.
Was that in the sheets?
Yes. So what happened was that Michael P.S. Hayes books Cena to be the Steve Austin in the go-home show, where he not only lays out his opponents, he also lays out his own team, and he got a big pop. And
Massive.
Vince,
that was when he started getting over.
But Vince nixed it. It was edited out of Vince did not like that. He said he wasn't ready for that, and he nixed the angle, and it made a lot of news back then because people felt that he had a glass ceiling. People felt that John Cena had a glass ceiling because he was getting over, and Vince McMahon nixed him, laying out like 8 guys. So in the go home show to Survivor Series, it cuts before he starts doing that. And then what happens. No, but I was going to say really quick before you take over.
Something happened like that with the go-home show of WrestleMania too, where they did an extra angle where Cena and Brock brawled. But in the TV version, they shot one where Angle hit Brock with a 2x4 in the back, and that was only on the TV version. I have the satellite feed of that show. So.
I'm joking, bro. Just chill out. I'm broken. I'm joking.
Bro, relax, dude. He's being sarcastic. These new people don't get how the show works.
Is he a post 87, bro? Because
he might be an ND.
I'm gonna start banning people for thinking dumb shit. So, anyways, here we go. So then, what I like about the Big Show feud is that if you remember, it started in December. It started in the Saudi and the Iraq show when they went to Iraq.
The tribute to the troops. That was the first one, I think, right?
Yeah, JBL came up with that. And so I like how they started that whole thing, you know? But anyways, yeah, so the really the big the actual rocket up his ass was in 2004. He was gently being prepared, and then
he was being groomed, as Meltzer would say.
I think him and Shawn Michaels have a lot of similarities because Shawn, the little rocket, was in 90. I would say in late 92, if you think about it, right? I mean,
well, I agree, but you remember you talked on our Survivor Series 89 show that you believe that Vince saw Shawn and Brett as main eventers on that show years before 92.
Yeah, because look at how he protected both of them on that show. He protected both of them. And they were small guys. They had no reason to protect them. So from WrestleMania 20 up into his big coronation at WrestleMania 21, I think we saw I hate one of them, Danny Lewis. I think we saw the preparation of John Cena being the top guy. So anyways, and 04 was a great year for him.
Well, here's the thing. 04 was a great year for him, but it also was not a great year for him.
You booked 04 when you were a kid.
I did. I was 20, but so here's the thing about 04. I am not a fan of 2004. I've talked about it with you.
You don't like Rene Dupree with the puppy, bro?
No, and I'm getting to that. After the Big Show feud, it just went off a cliff. Cena was feuding with Rene Dupree in a TV feud that nobody cared about. Then he had a feud with Booker T where they had the best of 5 and Booker ended up going heel. That was good. And then by the end of the year, they shot an angle where he was feuding with Carlito Caribbean Cool. And if you remember, Aaron Aguilera, a.k.a. Jesus, apparently, he stabbed John Cena at a nightclub, and they took Cena off the TV. What really was happening was I think he was filming what movie was he doing, bro? Not the Marine. No, it was the Marine.
It was the Marine. That was his first one, yeah. Which he buried in one of his interviews. I think it was the one with Chris Van Vliet, I think.
Well, he did not take a pin unbroken. He tapped out. We went over that earlier. Those of you in the chat who were asking and talking about the finish of the show, we went over that earlier, and I explained why that finish made sense, at least from their perspective. But anyways, yeah, Robert Patrick was in that movie, and now it's his dad on fucking Peacemaker. But so at the end of the year, there's a very weird match, and I would invite y'all go to Peacock and find this match because it's fucking weird. At Armageddon 04, which was a horrible pay-per-view, John Cena wrestled Jesus. I don't know if you remember this, Draven.
The hardcore kid, Aaron Aguilera.
Bro, this match was basically a 25-minute squash where Cena's beating on him. And fucking Jesus has hope spots. And then Cena keeps beating on him. And I remember watching that in 04 being like, this, where's the psychology behind this? It was bad, bro. So I think 04 was good for Cena as far as what the company wanted. I think, but for the fans, it wasn't too good. This guy says Geekdom looks so greasy. Well, that's because I'm Cuban, number one, and I'm greasy, stinking rich. Don't forget that one.
Bro, you know what was so annoying about 2004?
It was bad, bro. We covered one of our great shows in the archives on iTunes is Great American Bash 04.
Do you remember? Do you remember? Taz was annoying sometimes, bro. Do you remember? I know you're.
Well, here comes the pain.
Look at that little tomato. What's a tomato, bro? You would call women tomatoes. Is that an Italian thing? I don't get it.
This was before Hooks and Urcha was born, right?
Yeah, way before. It was born 90s. No, he was already born. He was born like in the late 90s. Look, check it out, bro.
I thought he was younger than that, bro.
So no, whenever Rene Dupree would do the little skip and a hop thing, and Taz would go, "Here comes the French tickler," and he would, so annoying, bro.
Yeah, I know. SmackDown.
Why didn't Vince yell at him during that time? He should have.
Maybe he did, bro. SmackDown in 04 was like the worst wrestling show.
Bro, Sloppy House says Rocket Buster.
Yeah, that's what he would say.
About that
Taz,
one, bro.
That's a Rocket Buster.
What about Big Ups, bro? That's another one. Big Ups. Gotta give Big Ups to so and so.
No, Paul Heyman did that at WrestleMania 17. Big Ups to Limp Bizkit after we saw the Limp Bizkit kid, bro, and his great art.
Andy.
Yeah, well, so who got a better deal, bro? The Limp Bizkit kid or you at All In this year?
But I'm not an ND, bro, like he was.
No, who got the better deal, bro?
I did, bro. In life, just in general.
Hey, I have money, so yet you can't afford a shower. Talk about insecure.
Get rid of this guy, bro.
Yeah, I should just get rid of him. But I want to say something smart to him first. What's a good smart response to that, bro?
A good smart response is that this is a good opportunity for you to use your skills and don't go to their level.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I got one for you that'll pop you. I could probably go 2 weeks without showering and still get more pussy than you. And I learned that from, what was the name of the band that did it, bro? Was it Motley Crue? Remember?
Yeah,
they had the bet. They had the bet. Yeah, for those who don't know, there was a bet where I think it was between them and Guns N' Roses, right? And they said who can get laid more without taking a long shower. And I think Vince Neil went a month and a half or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyways, so then 05, this was the coronation of John Cena. They fucked up the WrestleMania of the Royal Rumble finish with Batista, even though it would have been better if they kept it that way because they were both going to headline anyways. And then in the co-main event of Mania 21, Cena defeats JBL to become the WWE
I was there.
champion.
I was there live for that. Very anticlimactic.
The match was like 7 minutes. And it was mostly JBL, and the finish was Cena ducked the clothesline, went for the FU, and it was over, right? But it was also, like you said, anticlimactic, and it was also not the show closing event. Batista beating Triple H was the main event of that show, the last match.
It should have been because that was the best angle going into the show.
Right, it was. But I think Cena was the guy who they saw as being the bigger star because I remember, and I do remember this, Meltzer in The Observer at the time was on fire, and he said that the plan for the summer of 05 was originally Randall K was supposed to win the Rumble and beat Triple H at Mania. That whole thing got changed. Originally, Batista was going to go to SmackDown and switch with Cena going to Raw to build up a Triple H Cena match for WrestleMania 22. And that's exactly what they did. And Big Dave talked about it months, like way before. And that was the plan. Orton was supposed to go to Orton got taken out. Batista went to SmackDown. Cena went to Raw. And Cena going to Raw in the summer of 05 was a massive, massive deal because now he was on the definitive A show.
Well, I wanna comment a little bit about what James Styler said because he does bring up a good point. I
can put it on the screen if I can find it.
James Styler 3606. I do like that run that JBL had as the cowardly champion for almost a year, maybe a little more than almost a year. He's right. He was the honky tonk man at the world title picture where it was like he would always get out by the skin of his teeth. Something would always happen. Either fucking Paul Heyman would debut Heidenreich or Kurt Angle would turn on Eddie Guerrero, but something outside of JBL's control would always help him win those feuds. And I thought that was good booking for a heel champion. And it's right. It culminated in this young Punk, right?
The problem was that the attendance was real bad during this time.
It was the Dark Ages that nobody talks about. That John Cena got them out of in 05.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the wrestling god, bro. That's right. No, JBL was awesome during this time. He had that very right-wing conservative gimmick where he was kicking illegal aliens out. Literally vignettes.
Rudy Boy Gonzalez
running in the border. And just to have the young Punk come and dethrone him, and then
it's hip hop versus tradition.
That would be the following year, bro.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, bro. So, do you want to continue 05?
Jim Ross and his fucking way of talking without actually saying what he means, bro. He's got 1,000 of those things, though.
I know.
Anyways, what I want to say is that after the JBL feud, which ended I think it ended in the I Quit match, right, in May. He had like John Cena he really didn't have any programs because then he goes on and he gets drafted to Raw. And then he goes on and has that feud with Vitamin C for like no reason. That's kind of transferring over to like a full out Jericho feud that ends at the
SummerSlam. The Raw after where Cena put him in the dumpster, and then we wouldn't see Jericho again until 07, until Save Us.
Well, no, what doesn't Jericho lose a loser leaves town match with Cena?
On Raw, and then that was not SummerSlam. They had a rematch on Raw, and Cena FU'd him into a dumpster. And I think he also FU'd Bischoff on the same show. I think they both that was their
right. So now this is the birth of Super Cena. We're starting to see the birth of Super Cena. Yeah. Peggy Sue, as you call them,
Mary Sue,
and that's what. Okay, I want you to talk about something right now. I want to talk about something. This is a good subject.
Okay.
Talk about because this is where the booing started for Cena.
I can go over this because my ND brain remembers all of it.
So go for it. Take over.
After the Jericho feud, now I want to make note. Cena defeated Kurt Angle in a tournament final earlier in the year at No Way Out to get the shot at WrestleMania. Now, what happened here was after the Jericho feud, Angle became Cena's next opponent. Now, here's what happened. From September of 05 till around December, Cena and Angle wrestled multiple times. Unforgiven, Taboo Tuesday. They were doing three-ways. They were doing house show matches. During this time, the fans started to appreciate Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle in 05 had 3 classic matches with Shawn Michaels. He was one of the greatest workers ever, and people started to appreciate him, and they started to get sick of Cena. Now, here's the thing nobody ever talks about.
I think it was the Peggy Sue aspect that really...
you and I have talked about this on our show, but no other show has the balls to tell the truth about this. As much as you can respect John Cena's work ethic, and I do respect what he did for the kids, John Cena is an absolute manufactured corporate champion without question. Like he's the guy they want everyone to be like. So the fans saw through that. Cena was not that good of a wrestler at the time. He did improve in 06, and the matches with Angle made him better. And people started to respect Kurt. And I remember the night when Cena really started, when WWE panicked. New Year's Revolution. If you have the pay-per-view version of this event, I'll never forget this. Angle goes into the chamber and starts suplexing all these guys. He gets a pop like Hulk Hogan would have in the 80s. And then when Cena won at the end, the people didn't like it. And then when Edge did the very first Money in the Bank cash in, he got a massive pop, not just because Cena lost, but also because Edge, another guy, worked his ass off. Edge is my favorite WWE wrestler from the 2000s. He had a great thing. Now, that began the glorious 2006 feud between John Cena and Edge, which I think to this day is my favorite John Cena feud. That Cena and Edge feud from 06.
Okay. There was a couple of them. There was the one in the beginning of the year where Edge won his first world title. And then
they had one in later, and then they had one in like 08 too.
Yeah, the SummerSlam, the 06 and SummerSlam, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so now
and then that ended in Toronto in the TLC match.
So now we're deep into like Cena getting the heel heat, which is something that would like haunt him for the next 10 years.
Yes.
Contrary to popular belief, it did not haunt him over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
There's this
that
idea.
ended with the U.S. title run.
That's right. It did because and so I will say though, so I think that somebody said on the chat that they didn't, like me, the first time I noticed that he was getting heel heat was when he was feuding with Jericho at that Washington D.C. show. Ironically, the same arena where he ended his career for SummerSlam 05. That was the first time where he was getting.
Oh, see, I noticed it in the Angle feud right after.
Yeah, that's when it got really, really bad. And it wouldn't help that transitioning over to the Triple H feud that would lead into WrestleMania.
Yes,
he was still getting booed, especially because Triple H already had that rep of being a good worker, and he was
tradition versus hip hop.
By
the way, folks, tonight the fans we have traditional fans here in Chicago. So remember, he was trying to defend the fact that people at home were about to see the top babyface get booed.
That's right.
He did get booed. Now, I forgot if I asked you this during 30 for 30 or not.
CM Punk was there, bro, with a Tommy gun.
Yes, he was.
Did he borrow that Tommy gun from Mystical, bro?
That's right. The real Mystico, bro. Al Rodriguez, shat his pants, bro. Unlike Alberto El Loco, who shit his pants because he was Alberto El Loco. So at that 06 WrestleMania, Triple H was supposed to win that match originally. And we talked about this on 30 for 30 many years ago. Vince changed the finish to that fucking match like 6 times the day before the show. That began the WrestleMania main event panic era, where every WrestleMania Vince would change his mind about the finish over and over again. That was the first time he started doing that.
Yes. So to the obviously, yeah, he successfully defends the title.
Yeah, he beats Triple H. A very shocking win.
Right, and then
Rod Van Dam beats him at One Night Stand, and that was the peak of Cena getting hate, because Cena comes out in that crowd, that ECW crowd, and he represented the corporate, World Wrestling Federation that killed off all the territories, and Rob Van Dam represented the last territory left, ECW. So all those fans, like my boy Tony Lewis and Mike Johnson in the front row from PWInsider.com, they all went.
The four horsemen of the internet.
That's right, and that, by the way,
could you name me the 4 horsemen of the internet?
Yeah, Jess McGrath, Dave Shearer, Mike Johnson, and Buck Woodward, of course.
Yeah, bro, that's disturbing that you caught it. That's weird.
I was subscribed to them, and I'm ND. So, okay, so that One Night Stand match, if you have not seen that match, you want to talk about crowd heat. When I first saw that, dude, I watched that show. I ordered that show at my house. I actually paid for it.
You didn't use the Hispanic black box to get it for free?
It was already fried by then, bro. Remember, the cable company would fry them. They sent a signal to fry them. So that show, right? I was a big I still am a big ECW guy. That's it's not as good as the first One Night Stand, but I do love it. But
Mid-Southern's a better territory than ECW, bro.
That is a good territory,
and it will always be,
because they have one of these wrestling for them, bro. So
and they have JC Ice and Wolfie D.
That's right, bro.
Well, so
before
did
John
ECW
Cena.
for a while.
And the Snowman. ECW didn't have the
Which
Snowman.
is not Tony Khan, by the way.
No, it's not. No, it is not. But they did have snowmen in the back and a couple snow women, bro. So you figure that out. So the point I'm trying to make is seek out that RVD Cena match, because that crowd, like, that was an incredible experience. Sports Guy says he was there live for that, bro.
What the fuck?
Look at this, bro. They had Cena tap, and you can see Cena didn't want to do that.
No.
This is the shit I deal with, brother. On
Samurai
YouTube.
Z. It was Cena's idea to do that.
It was Cena's idea, but he didn't want to do it, bro. Come on. Yeah.
Did you know that Kevin Steen was up there in the nosebleeds for that show? Mark the Mark. Did you see Kevin Steen that day? Because he was there. And that's a very smart place. That's a very small place.
Yeah, it is. I've never been to that building before. I always wanted to go to the Tatsu now lead. I watched this movie the other day, bro. I think I was texting you when I was watching it, bro.
The Turtles, bro.
Remember? 2 is the one that you like. Dandelion.
Fuck, that one didn't make my 21 list. Son of a bitch.
No, but it can. It came out in the 20th century. The movie came out in 91. Yeah, you wouldn't have put it.
My heart is there every year, but yeah, you're right.
You know what we should do for the next game? I have an idea. Why don't we do top 10 best non-Marvel, non-DC comic book movies? Because my 1 and 2 are Turtles 90 and The Crow.
My 1 and 2 is Spawn with John.
That's a good one. I like that one. I like that movie.
With John Leguizamo as the heel clown, the devil. He's the devil, right?
He's not the devil. He's the Violator. That was his name, the Violator. Remember, he's not the Vindicator or the Vibrator.
I heard that John Cena. That was John Cena's nickname with the tortas, bro. Back in the 2005 and 2006, bro. It was the Violator, bro. The tortas.
Remember, he fucked the makeup lady, bro.
But didn't everybody?
No. He tamed her. Remember, bro, in the business of professional wrestling, whenever you fuck a chick over 300 pounds, it's not fuck, it's tame. And that means I've tamed a couple in my life, bro.
That's very disrespectful.
I know it is, but they're like animals. It's literally treating them because they happen to be above 300 pounds like animals. Listen, bro, I was with somebody once that was a big Bronto burger. So I know that, bro.
So I would have to go with The Crow and Spawn. But that's a good teaser for the next show. And also remember, we're gonna do our Alpha versus Betas TGIF lineup.
We should probably tell the people. Okay, so the plan right now is, I think we're gonna do minimum 2 streams a month or shows a month. We'll do bonus ones, like if somebody dies, there's always room for that.
Who's in the Deadpool right now, bro? Who's in the Deadpool?
Well,
Jake Roberts is always in there.
Billy Graham is gone already. Kurt Angle, after those eyes, might be in there.
Yes, and the way he was walking.
Yeah. Sting is probably not in there.
No, he's healthy, bro. He looks good for his age.
He does. Bro,
The
Rock, it should be in there the way he looks, bro.
Yeah, but he's busy working with Mark Sinclair right now.
Yes, we did. Okay, so do you want to go on to 07 or finish off 06?
When was it when he teamed with Sabu, bro, for the Survivor Series? Was it 06 or 07, which was awkward?
I think that was 06.
One of the most awkward, just because it was a mesh of like mainstream sports entertainment and independent wrestling. There was a Survivor Series team, folks, where Sabu and John Cena were on the same team.
What about DX and CM Punk? That
wasn't as weird as Sabu and John Cena, bro. 2 fucking from different worlds.
Do you remember? I'm sure you do.
Tell the people what Sabu said when he got arrested with Rod Van Dam. When the cops caught him with
the cops said, "What's your name?" He said Sabu. He didn't say Terry Brunk. He said Sabu, bro. No, listen. Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Did RVD say Robert Zakowski, bro, or whatever the fuck?
Rob Zankowski, right, or something like that.
Bro, did I ever tell the story that always pops me when you go through the Observer letters?
And it's always Rob Zankowski's looking for ECW tapes.
RVD tapes, bro.
I remember that. Yeah, RVD tapes. I remember that. You didn't have to tell me the story. I saw it.
But do you think Dave at that time gave him a break and just didn't break kayfabe, or you think he's like, that's you? Why are like?
Well, Dave is ND, bro. I think he's ND, big time ND, bro. Basic arithmetic. So he's got a BA degree, bro. Basic arithmetic.
Salvador David, what does he mean by definitely Dick Flair? Why is everybody bringing Dick Flair all of a sudden? What are we talking?
Yeah. This is what I was gonna say.
The Violator.
I was gonna say, do you remember in 06 when the Big Show had that run where he was having classic matches every week, and he had that one with Ric Flair and that one with Sabu on ECW on Sci-Fi, and it was weird because it was the Big Show and he was having these great matches.
Paul White, bro, and he was falling apart the whole time.
No more BS, right?
Is it Bowling Services or Big Show?
This is for you right here,
next
bro.
Time with an African American, your name is Apple.
We can't tell that story again, bro. Look at all this. This is going to be all jokes the rest of the show, I'm sure.
Will Javon Evans get in Mania? Yeah, he will, but would he win?
I think he will. Yeah. So, the Deadpool question.
I'm bouncy.
Okay, so Ric Flair is in the Deadpool.
Oh, okay. Dick Flair's.
What about James Janos, aka Willie Nelson, last night?
Nah, he's gonna live forever, bro.
Okay, let me think. Bruno already passed.
Trying to think.
Jacques Rougeau's in good shape. I don't know about Pierre Carl Ouellette, bro.
He's still
Di Malenko, bro.
Dino Machino, yeah,
he's got the shakes.
You're a dick, Jesus Christ.
Is Vince McMahon in the Deadpool? No, that family lives till they're 100, bro. Vince's family's gonna live forever.
No, because his dad died young, so he's got.
Yeah, but he had the cancer gimmick.
That's still the same shit. He's got like two genes. The one gene died young, but his mom lived to like 100, right, or some shit like that.
What about Jim Ross? Is he in the Deadpool? He's gotten cancer.
Yeah, and I think he's been wanting to accept the Reaper, bro.
Yeah, well, ever since Janice died, he probably.
Janice, that's not her name.
I thought her name was Janice, bro. His wife.
It's Jan, bro.
Jan. Okay, Janice is the barbed wire thing that fucking that Edge has, right?
Yes, Mick Foley.
All right, so let's keep moving. So in the summertime, he feuded with Edge, and then that blew off in September.
Bro, you know what talking about that feud? Remember the part where Edge gets thrown into the river and he spins like the belt? I'll never forget that, bro. He throws him into the lake or whatever, and Edge purposely makes himself into like a little Sonic the Hedgehog ball, and he spins like the spinner belt. Because remember, he also had one. He had the one that had the R, and he would spin it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. Adam was awesome during this time, bro. He was awesome.
No, he was great. So Cena had a feud with the Big Show around this time, briefly. But then that would segue into this is the beginning of the feud Cena had with Kevin Federline. So here's what they did. They had a Taboo Tuesday, and it was the world champion Booker T, the WWE champion John Cena, and the ECW champion Big Show in a three-way. And it wasn't for any of the belt. It was which brand it was bragging rights, not the pay-per-view name, the match. Cena ends up getting beaten up, or I forget. I think what was it? A belt shot from Kevin Federline, right? And this was all building. There was good booking here because 07. You and I have talked about how great the first half of 07 is, bro. When Benoit killed his family, it fucked up the whole year, bro. It's like a woman and a kid are dead, but what about my wrestling? So in 06, right? He began the K-Fed feud. And you're right, it was Cyber Sunday. Yeah, Taboo Tuesday was the original name.
Luche 1906 is shit, bro. I'm gonna put him over.
Okay, this right here was not till 08. So, anyways, Cena's feuding with Kevin Federline. This leads to a big episode of Raw, January 1st, 2007. There was two big things that happened on this show. One, Cena versus K-Fed in the main event. Umaga comes out, fucks over Cena. Kevin Federline, Mr. Britney Spears, has a WWE pinfall victory over John Cena, and Cena never got that win back. What do you think about that?
It's much like EC3 beating Mox, bro. I forgot it existed.
Yeah, I remember this because I was very dialed in around this time. I was going to indie shows, obviously TNA, as you pointed out.
Your chancletas was exploding.
That was 06. Yeah, that was 06. You're right, April.
You were putting cheeseburgers in your pocket.
No, that wasn't me. That was Jake Roberts. And D'Lo, I called D'Lo spots in his match. Remember that?
Just like Cena was very audibly calling his spots in his match last night.
Do you remember the other big angle on that January 1st, 07 Raw?
No, was it as good as good as the one you never shut up about, bro? The January 4th, 2013.
That's in your mind, bro. I don't know why you always say that when that's not
because where did I get it from? Because Ryback.
Well, you tend to Mandela affect yourself a lot, like when you thought that Vader did a moonsault onto Hay, like you Mandela affect yourself a lot.
He did. I saw it.
Okay, so do you remember what the other angle was?
Yeah, rated RKO versus DX.
No, it was not rated RKO versus DX. Although that was one of the feuds that was going on at the time. This was the show that had Donald Trump against Rosie O'Donnell. And it was Ace Steel, the man who bit Kenny Omega, as Donald Trump.
And they gave him the fat song. Remember they gave him the fat fat
No,
song?
no, they gave Rosie O'Donnell the fat one. They gave him fucking money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. So our president, Donald Trump, before he was president, had their thing with Rosie O'Donnell. That would lead to the big WrestleMania Battle of the Billionaires angle between Trump and Vince. Now,
with Bobby Lindsay, that's where Bobby Lindsay came from. That's what we call him, Bobby Lindsay.
That's right. And Umanga. Now, Cena was originally booked against Triple H, and what ended up happening was at the 07 New Year's Revolution, it was DX against Rated RKO. Triple H tears his quad for a second time. The pay-per-views changed to John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. So, and this was a great time period for WWE. First half of 07.
That match had awesome. The whole story of that match, bro, if you remember, and I know you do.
Of course I do. I can go through every week.
When will Shawn Michaels finally hit him with the sweet chin music?
When is he gonna barbershop window him, bro? Is what we're talking
every about. Week they would team up, they would beat a team, and then they would celebrate. Shawn would always go behind him, right? Shawn would always do something to where this is the week.
And then we turn around, he would shake his hand. Yeah.
Dude, that's
and they were tag team champions. Well,
that was Vince's go. Remember, me and you, I bitched about that, how that was Vince's go-to. You bury the tag team titles by always using them as bait for the buildup of the two main eventers. Anyways, finally it happened, bro. Finally, he fucking gives him the sweet shit music.
On the Go Home show in Chicago.
They waited till the Go Home show, bro.
And remember what the main event was for that show?
It was Michaels and Cena versus who?
Taker and Batista. It was a rematch from the pay-per-view.
That's right.
Because it was Taker and Batista on the other side. Yeah.
That
bro, 07
not Taker.
Take. Yeah, Take and Dave. That WrestleMania, and I've said it before, you can debate whether Taker and Batista or Cena and Shawn was the better match.
I don't debate that at all. It's Taker.
You and I argued. I disagree with you. I think Cena and Shawn was a better match. I'm just,
Okay. This is I don't disagree with you.
Now, I did want to put this over. The rematch in London that was almost an hour. That was also great.
That's right. That was a good match. Look, that argument is very subjective, right? I don't disagree with you. Cena versus Shawn was a great match. I like the other one better. But I will pose this question to you. 10 times out of 10, right? The reason why I like Batista versus Take more is because you're only going to get that match one time. This is two big hosses that gave it their all for 20 minutes straight. If you look at that match,
we already did earlier.
Go back and revisit Take versus Batista.
Actually, watch that whole show. That whole show is good.
There is no rest spots in that match. Boom, 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 boom for two big guys. And they're picking each other up. They're countering tombstones, Batista bombs. You're only
a great match.
They had it in them one time. That's why that match is special to me. You're never going to see that match again. Cena and Shawn was a more traditional match. It was more plain to.
I love the psychology of that match too.
But that was all psychology. That means that if you go to 10 John Cena versus Shawn matches, you're gonna get the same match 10 times. If you go to Batista Taker 10 times, you're only gonna get that WrestleMania once because that's all they could give you is one time, and that's why it's special to me.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I had fucking Edge versus Randall K at that show. I'll always say it to the day I die because remember, bro, 2 weeks later on Raw, they had a 5-star fucking match.
Classic TV match.
Better than
bro.
the one last year or 2 years ago with the last
heel versus heel. That was like 6 years ago, yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
It was heel versus heel too.
Better than the greatest match that they promoted like 6 years ago.
That's right. Now, after that, Cena was champion in 07. He started doing the rounds. Now, this is where Cena started to become a great worker.
Bro, you haven't used notes, huh? You're impressing me, bro.
No notes, bro. I swear to God, no notes. So Cena started feuding. Cena started feuding with the Great Khali. To this day, the greatest Great Khali matches were with John Cena, not The Undertaker, not even Giant Silva in Japan, bro. That was a wacky match, bro.
Didn't he have one that it was like a 5-minute match, like a random Monday Night Raw match with Shawn Michaels? Do you remember that one?
Probably, yeah, but the Cena one's the one I remember being really good.
No, Cena's was better because it had a spotlight. But Shawn wrestled Great Khali randomly on a Raw, and Shawn defaulted to, how do you get a good match? This is the Ric Flair rule. The best way to get a good match against somebody that can't move is just to have them lay in the middle of the ring and then you just bounce off of them, bro. And that's what Shawn did. Literally, that's all what Shawn did. And it was a good match, but it wasn't better than the Cena ones.
Right. Yes. Now, one of the things about this era, though, that I remember is the Raw where they were going to introduce Khali as do you remember the episode of Raw, what they did on that show that was going to lead to Khali feuding with John Cena? Do you have any memory of that?
No.
Here's what they did. This was good booking. I'll never forget this because I was actually excited watching Raw. I felt like the Attitude Era. Every other segment, they would cut to the back and somebody who was in the title picture would be laid out in blood. It was Shawn. It was Randy Orton. And the mystery all night was who's laying all these guys out. And I'm over here like getting excited as a fat mark. I'm like, okay, it could be because we're trying to figure this is a rocket up your ass to be laying out all these top guys. It was Khali.
Yeah.
But it was a great idea, wrong guy. Then Cena goes into a brief 1-month feud with Bobby Lindsay, and that would be the only time they had a match, I think, ever.
Great American Bash, 07.
Great American Bash, 07. And then began one of many iterations of John Cena versus Randall K. We saw it in 07. We saw it in 08. We saw
09
it in 09.
09 the whole year they feuded. 09 was whole year.
Pretty much. There's not really much for us to say in the because honestly, bro, from 07 to 09, at least 75% of his matches were with Randy Orton or some kind of combination of those guys.
Right, and it was also they wrestled so many times that they had to have a match with the stipulation that they would never wrestle ever again, which they end up fucking it up.
Breaking it in like 2012.
I think it was the title match in December of 2013
that's right, the TLC,
where they retired the World Heavyweight title. They retired Big Goldie on that show, and they would never wrestle again. But obviously,
they didn't retire Big Goldie on that show because when Daniel Bryan won the title at WrestleMania 30, he had Big Goldie. He had both of them. Remember?
How the hell did they they unified?
They retired Big Goldie when Bryan got hurt, and they had the new belt that Cena got from the Money in the Bank or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's right. He did have Big Goldie.
Yeah. So this is true right here. James Schuyler remembers that. Yeah, that did happen. Cena tore his pectoral muscle, and everyone, Wade Keller, Melter, the 4 horsemen of the internet, we're all saying this guy's out. He's going to miss WrestleMania. Then at the Royal Rumble 08, he comes out to one of the biggest pops and biggest shock returns ever.
I think Mark the Mark was there too, bro.
Yeah,
Mark, if you're on the chat, let us know if you were there.
He was at SummerSlam. MSG, right? Madison Square Garden, all pretty much smart fans. Nobody guessed that Cena would be number 30. That was one of the biggest pops, bro. And that was almost like a reverse of him being booed.
Was him and Triple H the last two in that match, and then he FU'd him out of the ring, right?
Yeah, I think Umaga was also one. I think it was the third to last guy. Yeah.
Right. So let's see. Somebody's saying when.
Do you want to start getting some of these super chats before we go on to 09?
Big Goldie retired in 2014 after Cena lost to Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's what.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When they climbed
Xavier the God is saying that. Let's take a little break from the retrospective and go hit some of these super chats. Go for it.
Yeah, let's get these out of the way and we'll continue in a minute here.
Because it really stops in his full-time career. It's gonna get shorter because his full-time career ends in like 2016 or something.
He's gonna start to like become a mid-carder after a while. Evan Rogers tapping out like Austin giving up beer destroys the character. It does not. I already mentioned earlier how it does not destroy the character. I understand where you're coming from, bro, but even if it did destroy the character, he's retiring. It doesn't matter anymore. Matthew Palatijes, the U.S. crowd never got their Super Cena moment. Cena didn't win one PLE match as a babyface in the U.S. during this retirement run.
Wait a minute. What does he mean by that?
He's saying that Cena never won a PLE match as a babyface during this entire run, is what he's saying. And he's not wrong. All of Cena's wins as a babyface were either overseas. The Logan Paul win, the AJ Styles win, they were all overseas on PLEs. But there was only a couple of them. I mean, but he's writing thumbs down. Look, I think we can all agree, even Draven, that the retirement run could have been booked a lot better. There's no argument there. I don't think it matters if he wins or loses in America. I don't think that shit even fucking matters. But I do agree that there's a lot of things they could have done better, bro.
Yeah, and also last night wasn't a PLE, so even if he would have won, it still would have stayed. Like he still would have never won. But also Cena hasn't been a full timer in years, so his job shouldn't be winning all the time. You know, he put over what's his name, the Samoan. What's his name, bro?
Solo.
He put over Solo. Like he
put him over. He put him over big too.
A boring jobber, bro.
We're gonna talk about all the guys Cena put over shortly, and it's gonna shock you because John Cena was the guy that lost clean to CM Punk and Daniel Bryan in consecutive years. So that he was the guy putting over the indie darlings. Evan Rogers says he was one of only 2 draws for 10 plus years.
I don't believe that at all.
Like I don't think that's true. Like
WWE,
he might be talking about Batista, but there were more draws than Batista during this time, man.
Yeah,
like Edge, Undertaker was still drawing at the time because the streak was still active. Shawn was still drawing. No,
Shawn was still active. Shawn was active up into 2010.
2010, yeah, 2010. Okay. Evan says those kids that grew up with him watched him throw the thing they liked to buy him in the trash. What a joke.
I mean,
he's talking about the never give up thing, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Those kids, but shouldn't those kids be adults now and understand the nuance to characters?
No, he's not wrong, bro. Some of those kids are NDs in a bad way. Like I disagree with him.
But wait a minute, Danny. I'm gonna call you out right now, bro. I'm gonna call you out right now.
All right.
Because I think you want. It kind of goes hand in hand, but there might be some differences. I want you to. You got very upset with what's his name? Fucking Luke Skywalker. Isn't it the same thing? Isn't it this idea that you're older and so what happened in The Last Jedi is that Luke Skywalker wasn't the same Luke Skywalker that represented hope and all this stuff, right? But what they were trying to do was they were trying to use the heat from the old legacy characters to the new characters, which is something that Hollywood's been trying to do now for a while with different franchises.
Right.
So I feel like I feel like this guy has a good argument in that if you don't evolve as a person, you're always going to stay stuck to that era. And therefore, Cena's always going to represent this idea of hope and never give up, and it's going to hurt more, kind of like what you went through with Luke Skywalker.
Well, I feel okay. I understand where the Evan Rogers is coming from. I'm not saying I don't understand his perspective because I get it. I just feel like because this was his last match, I don't feel like him tapping out here to Gunther. I don't think it eliminates the never give up. Like, I don't feel like that finish erases Cena's never give up attitude. I just don't think that was enough to do that. Luke Skywalker went in reverse. Cena,
but remember, Luke Skywalker
Cena realized he got beat by a better
man.
man. Cena realized he got beat by a better man. I don't think that's the same thing. I really don't.
What do you mean?
But he says what a joke. And the thing I want to reiterate is that Cena's the one that came up with that finish. So you got to remember that. I actually saw a video that went quasi viral today. Because the video did really well, bro. And it was a video. First of all, the new name for Triple H now is Triple K. I guess that might be an MVP thing, bro. So his name's Triple K now, bro. Not King Kofi Kingston, unfortunately. But so people are saying that Triple H ruined Cena's retirement. I get some of that because the matches that Triple H booked, all of them didn't get over with me in the heel turn, but that wasn't all his fault. However, Gunther tapping out Cena was Cena's idea. Maybe he'll explain it on a promo or something. I mean,
no, Cena doesn't do things like that. I mean,
I don't think he's going to, but
and also Cena. Remember, Cena's whole thing is because Cena will blame Triple H because remember, Cena's whole thing is like I just do what they tell me.
I do what they tell me, right? Wisco Dipper says, "What are your thoughts on the wrestler Grizzly Smith? And do you have anything to say about Jake the Snake Roberts' dark childhood?" We've talked about this on other shows.
This is so random. Well, what do you want me to say about Grizzly with Wisconsin diapers?
He was a pedo.
He's a pedo. He's a horrible human being.
Human being.
That
one of the worst.
That dark side of the ring was so disturbing. Where he shows up. He shows up to that place with that 9-year-old girl, and then the lady, the one when the lady that answers the door is like, should this little girl be with you? And there's no adult supervision. It's just him and a 9-year-old girl. Oh man, what a horrible human being. And I mean, as far as Jake the Snake,
he was abusive to his family. I mean, for those who want the story, check out that Grizzly Smith Dark Side. It's one of the most triggering, and like for people who have dealt with that. But would you say that's one of the top like most disturbing ones? Like that one, the Benoit one, the Owen one, like that one, that Grizzly Smith one was heavy.
Yeah, but Grizzly Smith exploited people that didn't have
his own children, bro.
Like an ability to defend themselves, bro. That's just that's malicious. Benoit too. Don't get me wrong, but and then like sometimes again another lifeism for the folks. Like we have to accept that life's not fair, and I think a lot of people have a hard time with that, and they stay stuck. This idea that if it happens to me, what I didn't deserve that. Life's not fair. And people that are monsters, they get away with a lot of stuff, and they live these long, happy lives.
It's fucked up.
And like Grizzly still had so many opportunities in the business. He was an agent for WCW for years after this. He died an old man. He never went to prison. It's fucked up, and that's just life. But yeah, that's that Wisconsin diapers. That's horrible, and I'm sorry you had to watch that. If you did. As far as Aurelian Smith Jr., to me, he's just a victim. He went through a lot, and as the old saying goes, right? Hurt people. So he was just projecting his experience onto the world, and he's still struggling with that. I mean, he's been around forever. He's had his demons. Great worker, a great psychology, great promo, which I feel like he's very underrated. And yeah, one of those guys from my childhood that's always going to be very nostalgic. So that's what I think about Grizzly and Jake.
Super great 123. Crowd booing Triple H felt like justification for the shit show 2025 was WWE's going to milk the retirement gimmick next year with Brock and Jericho.
I brought the second half up earlier in the show.
Yes, we did talk about this a little bit.
The first half, I agree with you. Super the great one, I guess.
Super the great one.
Very ND-ish name, by the way. And so. Yeah, I feel like yesterday, bro, I'm going to tell you another thing, too. it wasn't only Cena losing. I think there's been a lot of like very passive frustration that's been building with the fan base for a while, with the ticket prices, with the 4 matches,
the
PLEs,
finishes,
the
that
finish.
Obafemi Cody finish, bro. Like, fuck, dude, what's up? And not just that. Here's the big. It's not really an elephant in the room. SmackDown this year, in 2022 and 2023, SmackDown was the best wrestling show of the week. SmackDown this year, bro, has been so bad. I genuinely listen. I watched every SmackDown this year. I watched every SmackDown this year. I think I may have only really liked like 3 episodes, maybe 2. Like legit, and that's bad. That's a bad ratio. I have enjoyed more episodes of Dynamite than I have SmackDown this year.
Mark the mark. You're saying they call them triple fraud, but you're going to every fucking show they throw. So stop supporting them then.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the
although
other
he
thing.
did say he was going to retire supposedly, but
wait, who? Mark the Mark?
Yeah.
No, don't retire.
He always goes to these shows, bro, and spends.
He's like the green shirt guy. He's like the green shirt guy in the front, bro.
And he
pay $100,000 so we can see you walk down the fucking aisle, bro.
And he's got to buy 2 tickets because he's taking our boy Joey Moya with him too.
That's right, bro. That's right. Joe Moore's like a father I never had, bro. I miss that guy. Xavier says, "What's your favorite John Cena diss or rap battle?" I really like the Kurt Angle one. I honestly think that the Brock promo with the computer was good, and the one with The Rock was not bad either. We'll get to that shortly.
What about the one with
Stephanie
that told Roman Reigns that he couldn't cut a promo live on the air? That first feud with Roman.
Oh yeah, he buried Roman. He buried AJ, and he buried Rock. He out promoted The Rock, bro.
Now here's the thing. I like when he started carrying out the bag of nuts and he said, "Suck on these nuts," and he would throw him the bag.
Yeah. You stupid mother. And then he would let them say it. But now they bleep it out. So the legendary pen, will you watch Avatar 4 times for Avengers?
Let me bury Danny right here for a little while. This guy hasn't even watched the second one, bro. You haven't even watched
Avengers. I saw Avengers.
No, he's talking about Avatar.
Oh no, I haven't. You're right. I have not. I have
a question. For whatever reason, you just don't like Avatar. I don't know why. They're great.
I'm just not super interested. But I'm sure I'll get to it.
I have a question for you then. In order for you to watch the Avengers trailers, the 4 of them, because they have that gimmick where they're going to debut 4 trailers in 4 weeks.
Really, I didn't know that. I thought it was. I thought it was the same trailer on every.
No. Oh, did you know about the announcement that Disney sent out today? They're going to copy strike any YouTuber that tries to leak the trailer going forward.
It'll still get out.
Yeah, but why don't you just go fucking watch the movie and see it? Anyways, here's my question to you.
I'm just letting people know.
Here's my question to you, because you don't like Avatar and they're long as fuck. Are you going to go watch this movie? That's part A. Part B is you're going to have to watch part 2 in order to understand this one. So you're going to have to watch.
I'm going to have to watch 1 and 2.
Hours.
1 and 2.
So you're going to have to watch 9 hours of movies to get the Avengers trailer, bro.
Well, I don't have the 3D gimmick glasses that Mickey Rourke didn't understand. So unfortunately, I won't get the full experience. Well, the 3D experience is like the thing with the gimmick, as they say.
Also, it should be like fucking a Meet Joe Black, bro. Remember when people were buying a ticket to Meet Joe Black just so they could watch the Phantom Menace trailer?
It was that, and wasn't it? There was another one where it was similar to that too.
Bro, Jimmy Cameron is such a hypocrite. I'm gonna tell you why. He buries these fucking movies, right? He buries all the comic book movies. And now he's using the comic book movie trailer as leverage so he could say that his movie made a lot of money. That's very carny, bro.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, hey, he loves breaking records. He's like Dwayne. So back to he is. Back to the Cena retrospective. So in 2009, Cena had feuds with Edge and Big Show. He had another Big Show feud in 2009, just like he did in 2004. He had then that was the year where, as Draven pointed out, Randy Orton and Cena headlined the last like 7 pay-per-views of the year. Then going into 2010, 2010, Cena got real good because this was the beginning of his feud with Dave Bautista. And what I love about this feud is all
Bautista doing the best work of his career up to this point.
The best work of his career, bro. And I love the storyline because what the storyline was, Batista's gripes is literally what happened. They both became world champions at WrestleMania 21, but the company got more behind Cena than Batista. And that was great. And that would, of course, lead to the great angle on Raw where he's like, you don't laugh at me or I'll quit. And then he fucking quit.
In the wheelchair.
In the wheelchair.
Because he took a bump in that whatever gimmick match it was the night before.
Yeah. Now, after this, Cena started a feud with Sheamus. That was stupid. And then after that began the Nexus feud that you were talking about that not only had Cena burying them at SummerSlam, but don't forget, he joined their ranks by losing a match to Wade Barrett and then was still on TV as John Cena and wrestled as Juan Cena on some of the house shows.
That's right. That's when Juan Cena was born.
Yeah, this was not a good time.
This was a very dark time in the company in general. This was bad, bro, because this was that little era from after.
I remember I bought a Nexus shirt.
I know it. Well, you bought a lot of shirts, bro. You brought a Brock Lesnar shirt.
A lot of them were still there, bro. I bought a Cowabunga shirt from Memphis.
No, but I was gonna say from 2008 to the debut of the Shield, like WWE was bad, bro. Cena was like this is like Super Cena. This is Super Cena to the max, where he wouldn't sell injuries. I was gonna say really quick to support this point. When he came back from the Aaron Aguilera feud in Carlito, he didn't have no sign of a stab. I remember that got him a lot of heat.
None, not even no scar, not even a Band-Aid, nothing.
Right. And then here, like you said, he would have these matches, right, with Batista, Street, because the thing, they were in a pattern. WWE was in a pattern for a while. Remember this? It was a regular match, a no DQ match, and then it was a gimmick, like an I Quit, Hell in the Cell. That would always.
And I'll never forget at the TLC pay-per-view. This is also when they, instead of headlining with the match that was named, the show was named after, this is the beginning of them always headlining with Cena, even if the champion was on another match. The main event of that TLC show was Cena against Wade Barrett in a chairs match, and it ended with Cena pulling the little gimmick, and all the chairs fell on top of Wade Barrett.
That was a cool gimmick, bro.
It was, but the time period was bad because he buried Wade Barrett. And then, of course, the next month is when they had the Scar Mufasa gimmick where CM Punk took the Nexus thing and put it on himself, bro. And that was awesome.
And the thing about Wade Barrett is that he's alpha, bro, because he told Alicia Fox, I don't think I see a future with you.
I don't see a future with you, which pops you, bro. And I remember what you said. No, this is what you said, and I quote, you said, whenever I see a beautiful woman like that get rejected, it boosts my confidence. I don't know why. You said that. You said that, bro.
Oh, that was the old me, bro. I don't think like that anymore. I respect all women on this earth,
except for the dietarily challenged ones, bro.
No, that's you, not me. I enjoy them. I don't mind.
No, I'm known as the enjoyer, but not anymore.
But you're not the violator.
I'm now only gonna fuck around with women under the 300-pound mark from now on, bro. You gotta be under 300.
Damn,
you have to be able to defend the UFC title to get on my lap, bro.
Yeah, but it could be super heavyweight.
Yeah, but I'm not in that division anymore, bro.
Rico Rodriguez was like 301.
That's okay. Well, that's his problem, bro. He sucks. Nobody remembers him. He lost to Randy Cotto. All right, so
Timmy Sylvia was like, he used to walk around with the title and go into the malls and shit.
Yes, he did, bro. And then every time he would lose, I came into this match with an injury, every time.
I was gonna say, you know what makes me sad about Wade Barrett, bro? Like the Bad News Barrett era, which was a great gimmick. He never did anything, but he all he did was cut promos. He never actually did anything as Bad News Barrett.
Right. Look what this guy said, bro.
Yeah, he's right. He's not. I mean, what do you think? Because you spent some winters with dietarily challenged women.
I have, and yes, they do generate a lot of body heat. There's truth to that.
But the summer's a different story.
No, the summer, turn this fucking fan on, bro. That gimmick, that I got you that one year, the little mini
I still have it. I'm seeing it right now. It's right here.
Yeah, that's useful. That's very useful, bro. Although they have a newer one now that's
put the little ice pack and the little ice thing at night.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's cold, bro. It's nice. So okay, so where are we now? We're in 2010. The Nexus. Okay, we're in 2011. Now we have the beginning of the Rock series of matches. WrestleMania 27.
He fused with the Wizard of Oz first.
I'm getting there. Yeah, WrestleMania 27, one of the worst shows ever. It wasn't I'm coming home. Wasn't that one?
Which Mark the Mark was also at.
Yes, he was, bro. So this show, WrestleMania 27, we've talked about it already. It's not a good show. Miz and Cena, but this began the Rock feud. The night after Mania, they booked it for the following year.
Remember, the Rock eats 15 minutes from very like a hard out. That was the pay-per-view time where you had a hard out. So this motherfucker eating 15 minutes from the boys meant that all the other matches had to get cut. I hate that show, bro.
Yes, correct. And then the very next month was Extreme Rules in Tampa. I was at the show. That was the debut of Karma. It was Cody Rhodes against Rey Mysterio.
Another woman that you marked out. Are you also into like female hosses, bro? I've noticed that.
Well, Karma, I would say, is a dietarily challenged woman, you know, in that era. So I was into her too, bro. And trust me, I was into her because I went to an indie show and the girlfriend I had at the time goes up to her and goes, "Yeah, Danny has a crush on you." And I'm like,
she was putting cheeseburgers in her pocket, bro. That's what happened.
She was, bro. I was going to say a different food, but then I would be called a racist. Listen, I'm not Bubba the Love Sponge, bro, all right? So that show also had one of the most famous Cena segments ever. When that show ended, John Cena got on the mic and said, "We've just learned that Osama bin Laden has been compromised." We were at that show, bro.
Damn.
Me, Tex, and the Klinkster were at that show together, bro.
Compromise, bro. Why does it just say killed?
Because they don't want to use that word. I don't know, bro. It's like
J457
like English.
Says, "Take LA to the tunnels of Typhon."
Bro, that's not how you spell Typhon, bro. That is not how you spell Typhon.
Man, some of the marks from our shows, bro, they come up with the wackiest. I never imagined I was gonna wake up and see the term tunnels of Typhon today, bro.
I knew I would on this show. Caught and compromised to a permanent end.
Is that what they actually said? That's very, very corporate, bro. Caught and compromised to a That's how I should refer to my ex-girlfriends, bro. They got caught and compromised to a permanent end when I terminated the relationship.
All right, now we're going to have to really help this man out. First of all, thank you for the super chat, the generous super chat. John, never give up Cena. He taps out in the ring. Giving up is a burial of the character. The magic is dead. I wasn't looking to get my inner child gut checked. WWE has go away heat with me. Time out. Because I know Brandon Draven is he's a licensed clinical psychologist, and he can tell you all about the inner child. I'm just going to say this, bro. If John Cena losing a fake wrestling match really, really affected you this much, and I'm being very kind right here, I would highly advise you that you seek therapy as soon as possible, because you should not be this hurt over an outcome that not only was obvious to the majority of people, but that John Cena himself was okay with. I understand what Cena represents, but we've talked about this. We talked about it on the Hulk Hogan show and other times. One of the things that Draven and I have in common is that we don't really have role models, even though he likes to fuck with me about.
No, you have a lot of role models.
No, I don't.
Bro.
No, I don't. I do not. You have to fuck with me about it.
The Dragon's Balls creator.
No, I'm the role model.
You fillet
I'm
him,
the role model.
even though he's passed away.
No. I don't fillet him. I respect him.
Lord Akiyama.
He made me a lot of money too, so I respect that. But the point is,
didn't he headline
Toriumon, bro, with Dragon Lee. Okay, but my point is, and I'll let you go ahead and say whatever you want to say. You're taking this extremely hard, bro, and I'm pretty sure you're not 12. So, what do you have to say, bro? I thought I was kind in what I said to him.
First of all, like, I understand why he's going through this. I get it, right?
I get it.
It's very frustrating. It's frustrating. It does seem like a betrayal of the character, even though it's not. It's a finality to the character, and the character trying to extend that to another character. Okay, let's fantasy book and try to see what John Cena winning would accomplish. It wouldn't do anything for anyone, including Cena himself.
Well, I think his thing is he doesn't like the fact that he tapped out. I think people would have been okay if he got pinned.
Okay, or passed out, right? Evan, correct?
Out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I understand, like, yeah, maybe he shouldn't have tapped out. All right. Remember I said earlier, this is not all black or white. There's mistakes.
We talked about the pros and the cons.
There's tweaks that could have been done. There's things they could have done to make it better, make it the way he lost. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have supported him winning, but I would have supported him losing in other ways. I get it. But what does that have to do with the overall product? The character is gone. Like you say, WWE has go away heat with me. In what
Cena's
way?
Gone, bro. It's
because
over.
He's gone. So in order for something to have go away heat with you is if there was a continuation to the story that was bad and you just didn't want to go along with it. That's go away heat. But the character, this story is gone. They're gonna start over with a new story.
He might be talking about the ticket prices, but that's a different problem.
Yeah, well then don't go. Like I'm not going. I'm not going. You know, we're not all Mark the Marks, bro, who keep on saying this and that, and they still go and spend $400 a pop, bro, which makes no sense to me. I'm not burying him. I don't get it. Like I don't understand.
Does Danny Luis still go to shows, bro?
No, bro. Danny Luis he went to go see Oasis literally from space, bro. I mean, this guy's nosebleed tickets were like so far away, bro. I got a nosebleed just looking at his picture. That's how bad it was.
Damn, bro. That's bad.
Louis, bro.
With his Mandalorian collection of hats.
Yes, of helmets. You mean
helmets?
Which is very disturbing because the man has no children.
Salvatore Sincere says, "Do you think WWE will make a comeback next year? Also, who is going to Saudi in 2027?"
Okay,
I am
let's
not
break this
going
down.
to Saudi in 2027.
Let's break this down because this is also another emotional question. I feel like I respect Salvador David. He's a good guy, but
I do too. And you know what? I respect Evan Rogers.
Evan Bourne. You're Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne.
I used to respect him, but what I'm trying to tell Evan Rogers is do not take it so personal, bro. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead. You were saying.
Listen. So I don't like this question. Do you think WWE? There is no comeback. They haven't fallen yet. Now the fact that you might not.
He might mean creatively, right?
Okay, well then, but if that's the case, they haven't had anything good in the last 2 years, in my opinion. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
That's gonna be subjective. That's what I'm saying. So the first question is null and void because they haven't fallen yet, and if you're smart about the business, fallen means financially. They have okay. Who is going to Saudi Arabia in 2027? A lot of people. How do I know that? Because a lot of people were trying to go there for next month for the Royal Rumble. 780,000. David Salvador, 780,000 people from all over the world were in the queue to get tickets to the next month's Royal Rumble event. So what does that tell the higher ups, Nick Khan and them? It tells them that they hit paid for WrestleMania because this whole concern about none of the Americans are going to go, it's already been answered because they want to go to a second-tier event compared to WrestleMania, of course, the Royal Rumble. So they're going to make a shitload of money. The Saudis are paying something like $300 million for the show itself, on top of whatever ticket sales they make.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think that WrestleMania 43 is the first of multiple WrestleManias in Saudi because they're going to make so much money. And with the 800,000 people that try to get in, I think they're going to do these. We might get 2 or even 3 WrestleManias there. I would not be surprised.
Right. Serge, first of all, you're not Serge Salinas, are you, bro? Because we don't respect Your name's Sergio, bro. Is it Sergio? Because it should.
Well, maybe his name is Serge, bro, instead of Sergio. Maybe he's white.
He says he has free flights to go to Saudi, bro. Good for him.
Good for you, bro. The ticket's still going to be expensive. And also, if you're gay, I wouldn't want to be careful there, bro. So here's the thing about Saudi Arabia.
No, Daddy, do they still have that? Remember, folks, this is what I'm about to say is a legitimate rule. They would only sell the good.
It's called Shia law.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. But they only give the good seats to the non-virgins. If you don't have a wife or a girlfriend, you cannot get good
multiple
seats.
Wives.
You have to sit in the back with the virgins. They literally had that rule during the first year. They wouldn't allow single people to sit in the front area. They had to be with somebody or have kids. So if any of you fall into that category, expect to be in the back, the nosebleeds.
Yeah. Also,
right next to Danny Louis and his kid helmets.
Saudi Arabia is opening up to a lot of, like, the whole thing with Saudi Arabia and Riyadh season is that they're trying to open up the country to be a big tourist attraction. Draven, I don't know if you know this, but the first ever Dragon's Balls theme park will be opening in Saudi Arabia. That's when I may go.
Cashing blood money, bro. I don't respect them then.
That's when I may go. But yes.
Did Lord Akiyama sign off on this, bro, before he passed away? Because
I don't know. I would assume not, but I don't know.
All right,
he's talking about Toriyama.
This is where I am. This is where I'm at with this, bro. Because I like to travel.
Yes, you do, actually.
I am gonna consider, because I've never been to Saudi Arabia, and it seems like it's pretty safe, So
just make sure you have your beard growing out for that.
Especially being a cisgender male like I am.
And you're brown like they are.
The top of the speech. I just have to cover the tattoos like Aleister Black, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that, bro.
I forgot he's not allowed to go.
Well, he also worships the enemy, bro.
Well, he has a big nasty one in the back that's very it's very devilish. Let's go.
But you know what, bro? He's going home with something real sweet every night, let me tell you. Yeah. Even though she's Puerto Rican.
And cluster B too, from what I hear.
They usually are.
No, so I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna see if I could go. I want to see if I could go on vacation to Saudi for WrestleMania. If it's too much of a fucking like stressful, I'm not going. I need to be able to just get a ticket and go, bro. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be in a queue in line. I'm not gonna do that. But if it's possible for me just to get a quick ticket and get my flight, I'm gonna go to Saudi.
Yeah, well, and even if you miss the first Saudi show, they're gonna do more. So we're now in 2011, and this is going into Cena and Punk, the Summer of Punk, one of the biggest botched angles they did. That would lead to Cena.
Stickum, bro. Oh, are you gonna talk about Stickum?
Yeah, we there's no sense in talking about it. This is a Cena show. Cena, however, defeated Alberto Del Rio at Night of Champions in a finish that both you and I hated.
That's the one that broke you, right?
That's the one that broke me. I think it broke you as well. But then I got broken again at Extreme Rules the following year. So then after the Alberto El Patron feud, they did a Cena Rock team-up match against The Miz and R-Truth. Ironically enough, Miz and R-Truth were, on last night's show. But
I was at live, by the way. I was at live because that was my first time at Madison Square Garden, and it was the right time, the right place. I want to see The Rock come back, and I
don't remember that being a good show, though.
I don't care. I was in heaven. That was the first time at the Garden. Have you been to the Garden?
No, not yet. But you're right. So then after that match came 2012, and what the hell did Cena do in 2012? Oh yeah, Rock. The Rock at WrestleMania, once in a lifetime, night after Mania.
No, bro, stop. We have to tell the people, because if you weren't there, it's so unbelievable how there was grown men almost getting into fist fights over Rock or Cena. If you were Team Cena or Team Rock, there was a big divide. It was almost like AEW versus WWE, bro. I remember there was I saw with my own eyes. I saw no less than 3 fights from grown men who were on Team Cena or Team Raw.
At Mania 28 in Miami?
Yeah, this is a big deal, bro. Like, people were...
I was there.
Were you Team Cena or Team Rock?
No, I was Team Rock, but I didn't see anybody get into any fights. That's fucking awesome. That was, people were saying they were actually going to riot if Rock lost. I don't know.
I was going to riot over Daniel Bryan getting 17 seconds with Sheamus O'Shaughnessy, bro.
That's right. Sheamus O'Shaughnessy, bro. That's right.
Who's still on the roster.
Have you ever seen a ginger snap? That's Vinny, bro. That's Vinny. That might actually be fucking your boy, Brian Gewirtz, bro.
Frente de Vistese, it was twice in a lifetime, bro.
It was twice in a lifetime.
The one that Danny hates the following year.
Yes. So that one was fine. Then Lesnar comes out after WrestleMania.
Oh, Raw after he kicks the hat, bro. Remember, he kicks the hat.
WrestleMania. Yes, he does. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time. I was excited. Then we have the very next week, Cena ends up losing to Lord
was you
Tensai.
going on the internet, bro. After he kicked the hat, that was you going onto the internet and writing in capital letters.
No, that was me doing radio shows for angrymarks.com that night, bro. The Wow Factor. This is after the Wow Factor, though.
Yeah, bro, you're taking the Wow Factor. Angry Marks, bro. Mark the Mark knows all about that.
Yeah, that's where I first found him, bro. But yeah, so then we had this time that was really, really bad. So CM Punk was the champion, but the only time he ever headlined is when Cena was in a match with him. So Cena headlined against Lesnar in Extreme Rules and beat him, which pissed me off.
Oh, that's classic. That's a classic meltdown.
I had a meltdown. Yeah, my action froze.
It was weird.
My brain
because
froze.
This is how much of a beta you were at that time, bro. You had a meltdown, and then you had people. You would get upset when people would call you out on the meltdown, which was weird.
That was also the night where I almost shat my pants. So I went to go take a shit. It gets better. I told this story, but I don't know if you remember it. So that night,
shat your pants, bro.
That night, I had to drop off this lady who had a crush on me, and I was with my girl at the time, and her ex was also in the car. Very awkward, very, very awkward drive. I had to take a shit, right? And there was no bathroom. So when I dropped the lady off, I went by the dumpster, the big blue dumpster, and I pulled my pants down and just took a dump. And luckily, I had toilet paper in my trunk of my car. So I wiped my ass and I fucking got in the car and went home.
Wait a minute, bro. No, you don't simplify it because
look, he remembers the story, bro. That's crazy.
You had to actually get up with junk in your back, bro, and walk to the trunk of your car.
No. What happened was I got out of the car. It's actually better than you realize. So I dropped her off, right, and I parked the car right next to the dumpster. It's like 11:30 at this point at night, and I get out of the car and I'm looking around and make sure nobody can see me. So I bend over and I pull my pants down and I literally take a shit right on the floor, right next to the dumpster, and then I wipe my ass with the toilet paper. Okay, this is a good question. I'll answer it. Who keeps toilet paper in their trunk? I went shopping that day and I bought a big ass toilet paper thing and I didn't bring it into the house yet. So
you got lucky. I
got lucky. Otherwise, I would have had to wipe my ass with some work papers I had in the trunk, bro.
Or some leaves, that were around you.
Yeah, some leaves. So yes, I ended up taking a shit. It was a big turd, and I just left it there. It was just there on the ground. I left it there.
So wait a minute. But you at least you threw the paper and you opened up the dumpster and threw it in the dumpster, right?
The paper, yeah, but the turd was still on the ground.
Well, yeah. What are you gonna do with the turd? You can't pick it up.
Well, I could pick it up with the paper, but fuck that.
Nah, I think
I let them a little something.
It's too chocolatey, bro. You can't do that.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I found the homeless guy?
You told me about watching the Batman on a wheel, which we're gonna get to in a little bit, bro.
Listen, did I ever tell you a story about the homeless guy?
You watched the Batman in a wheelchair, bro.
Did I ever tell you a story about the homeless guy who wiped his ass with 3 beer bottles and a piece of Cuban bread? Did I ever tell you that?
Bro, that's painful. Was this fucking Onita and FMW, bro, in one of those exploding death matches? Like, what do you mean he used up 3 beer bottles?
It was a homeless guy next to my old house, my old apartment, next to this Indian store. One of those convenience stores owned by Indians where they have like the DVDs from Bollywood and shit. Like they had hundreds of movies I've never heard of. So the homeless guy, we saw 3 beer bottles covered in shit because he wiped his ass with them and a piece of Cuban bread. He took it and cleaned up all the remaining.
Pan cubano.
This was in high school, bro. That's how long ago it was.
So you're telling me he didn't have the option to say sin pan then?
This is a pretty good point this guy said. Yeah, limited amount of days were wasted on useless tag matches, 2 R-Truth matches, 2 Dom Mysterio matches. We could have gotten Drew, Knight, Breaker. He's right. I agree with that. I actually agree with that.
Yeah, yes. Hungry Almighty, bro. That's his name.
Yeah, like Bobby with the Gogeta fucking, like Bobby Lindsay, bro.
One of your guys.
Was it a Bud Light bottle? Okay.
Bro,
where did we leave off?
Bobby Lindsay pissed me off, bro, because now the report is that he's hurt. This motherfucker knew he was going to do jobs in the Continental Classic, and now he's hurt, bro. Come on, oh, God, I hate people like that.
So who's replacing him?
What's the name of the big monster, bro? The dinosaur?
The
Luchasaurus. I think it was Luchasaurus.
Oh, him. Okay. All right.
They needed a big stiff to replace another big stiff. Big D pulled a Randall K, except he didn't shit anyone's back. Bro, why didn't you get that turn and then keep it and then use it on some of your enemies, bro? You could have kept it with you.
I could have, but luckily I had plenty of other turds I could use, bro. Because bro, I have an endless supply.
You could have used it on that one guy that shaved his nuts and left the hair on your sink, bro.
Nobody knows the story, bro. You're telling stories that nobody knows.
Bro, you just told everybody a story nobody knew where you took a shit by a dumpster.
No, because remember, Mark the Mark said he remembered the story. Mark the Mark said that he remembered that one. Bro, I said it on Super Friends a long time ago.
You could have used a Ziploc bag, bro, and put the turd in there.
You're right.
And then dropped it in later. This guy's room.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I should have done that. Yeah, he was disgusting,
like
bro.
The 1, 2, 3 kid or Randall K used to do, bro.
That's right. Just leave it there. So, all right, we're in 2013 now, I think.
Yeah, your favorite WrestleMania.
Oh no, wait. So, at the end of 2012, Cena starts feuding with Dolph Ziggler, and it was over AJ Lee. Do you remember any of that?
Oh, yeah, I do, bro. AJ Lee was fine back. He's still fine.
Puerto Rican.
He's a little tomato. He's a tomato, as Tad would say.
So in 2013, we found out it was going to be twice in a lifetime because CM Punk dropped the belt to The Rock, and WrestleMania was Cena Rock 2, NYNJ. I hated that fucking main event then. I still fucking hate it. I do not like John Cena and The Rock. Cena wins the title, and that was the last time he headlined WrestleMania until this year, 29. Damn. Yeah. And then later in the year, he had feuds with Mark Henry, which had that awesome segment where Mark Henry fake retired. I'm out of drink, bro. I got to get some in a minute.
Why didn't Miz Mark Henry come out in that suit, bro, last night? He should have.
He should have, bro. The pink suit. Now,
the Miz came out in the gear that he wrestled him at WrestleMania 27 in, which was pretty cool. You know, that was the same gear he used that night.
Yes. And also, I should mention this because we didn't talk about it before. In 2011, John Cena put over CM Punk. In 2012, he put over Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam that year. And in 2013, he put over Lesnar. Like by getting killed. No, that was 2014. Who the hell did he put over in 2013?
I was at that show in 2014.
Daniel Bryan was 2013 , bro. Yeah,
I'm not arguing with you. You're the one that jumbled up in your own head, bro.
No, I know what I fucked up. Yeah, 2012 was Big Show, Punk, and Cena in a 3-way. 2013 was Cena and Daniel Bryan. And so Cena put him over, right? And then in 2014 began the Bray Wyatt feud. My daddy had a shrimp boat, and
That's
the
right,
beginning
bro.
of Cena moving down to the upper mid card.
Alfredo Plasencia says, "What about the Kane feud?"
That was in 2012.
I'm sure he had a Kane feud, bro. Everybody.
No, he did in like 2012.
Ah, this is good. Good wine right here, folks. On a Sunday in Los Angeles, California. Cheers.
Yes, indeed. Cheers. I gotta get my water, bro. So and so in 2013 they did the Randy Orton feud again. That would lead to the two belt thing at the end of the year. And then Cena started a feud with Bray Wyatt, and that feud went on until the summer. And then that was the summer, and I'm sure you remember this, that was Battleground 2014, that terrible show that I went to.
You were there live.
I was there live, and I think, wasn't the main event like a 4-way?
Yeah.
It was like Roman, Cena.
I think Swagger. Wasn't Swagger in it?
Maybe. Let me look it up right now and find out. Battleground.
That's right. Beat Jordan 23. That's right. Back-to-back championships for my.
Cena was champion. He beat Kane, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns. That's it. Kane, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns.
Oh, that was the Kane feud.
Yes, you were there, bro. And your chick got fucking drunk, and Ma had to take her home.
Sloppy house.
Yes, he was there, bro.
So you're saying that Sloppy House was running a sloppy house, his own house at that time?
His house was sloppy, but he wasn't the sloppy one. How about that?
Science Suplex says Big Show was in it.
No, he wasn't. I just looked it up. No, I mean, he wasn't. Cena beat Kane, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns.
Well, he might have been talking about something else.
Look at this card, bro. The Usos over the Wyatt family. AJ Lee over Paige. Rusev over Jack Swagger by count out. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose had a forfeit. Chris Jericho beat Bray Wyatt in a horrible match. The Miz over Dolph Ziggler. That was the co-main event of the show. And then Cena in the 4-way. Dude, that show was a waste of money. Oh,
but it wasn't as much as it would be now. I'll tell you that right now.
That's true. And then Cena loses to Brock at SummerSlam 2014, Suplex City.
And then he starts.
No, he kept training to get a rematch, and he did get one the next month. But then Seth ran in with the briefcase, and it caused a DQ. That would lead to the Royal Rumble, where they had that classic 3-way: Brock, Cena, and Seth Rollins. That's one of the greatest triple threat matches ever, bro. Ever.
That's a great match. Really good match.
Royal Rumble 2015. And then now we're going to get into Cena as the U.S. champion, because he started a feud with Rusev. And then that was the year he started to do and yes, Paige put over the purple gimmick.
This was Cena transitioning into a part-timer at this point. Almost.
Yeah, almost. And he used the U.S. title to get Sami Zayn over, Kevin Owens.
But remember, Sami Zayn, he messed himself up just by saying hi, bro.
That's right.
Once Vince saw that, he was done with Sami.
That's right. I mean, he slipped on a banana peel, and that was the end. Okay, let me think for a minute. We're in 2014. No, we're in 2015 now. Yeah, so
you're having a harder time recalling the more present time than you are the past, bro.
But you and I have talked about that, bro. When we're dialed into old wrestling, we remember shit. Like, and here's the thing about brother, if you're saying I'm cringe, you can't even spell your own fucking name. Brendan is Brendan, you dumb shit. Or did your mom fuck up the birth certificate like James Gum from fucking Remember, bro, in what's the name of that movie? In Silence of the Lambs, it's supposed to be James Gum, but his mom was too fucked up on drugs, so she wrote James, Jame.
Yeah, with the Science Suplex. We already talked about that.
Yeah, bro, you can't even spell your own name, bro. And you're right, you should be calling me Lord. And yeah, we did talk about that. Notice how Draven pronounces Cyan, bro. Notice how he pronounces it. So, okay, now we're in 2015. 2016 was the beginning of the John Cena, AJ Styles feud. That was the highlight of that year.
Oh, that was awesome. I love that feud, bro. First of all, I've been an AJ fan for years and years and years before this. This is where he still had the soccer mom haircut, which popped me.
And this is when Cena cut the promo where he goes, "Why are you better than me? Because I didn't go to the indie scene." Remember?
It should have said because I wasn't in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
So yeah, no, this was, and then also I never expected AJ Styles to get a run, bro. Like, because when he was with Y2, what was their name, bro? Y2J.
Who? Wait, who?
Remember they had the Y2 TNA or some shit, bro. When they had the AJ and Jericho when they were a tag team.
I don't remember what their name was.
Chad, remind me what the name of Y2J and AJ Styles was.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Y2AJ? I remember they had the match at WrestleMania.
No, it wasn't Y2K, bro. That was just...
No, it was Y2AJ. I think it was.
Oh, there it goes. Y2AJ.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was kind of like Styles being in the mid-card, bro. And then after he had the blow-off with Jericho at WrestleMania, the next night at the Raw after WrestleMania, they had a four-way with Roman Reigns,
right.
AJ Styles, I think Jack Swagger was in that, and see, I remember that shit, bro. You're not the only one.
And AJ won, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and that got him the title shot. Shot with Cena, and then they started their program, and it went on from there.
Which was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he went into a Seth Rollins program during the summer, right after Styles.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was also when they did all three members of the Shield against each other. They did that. And that was like that. Okay. 2016, 2017, bro, I start to draw. This is where I'm starting to forget, because here's the thing about WWE. If you were watching back then, unless you were really dialed in, 2016, 2017, 2018, all are a blur to me. I remember some of it, but I don't remember exactly the order of things. But I can probably make my way through the Cena stuff. You have to also remember that at the time, I was working on YouTube full time, and every Saturday was Dragon Ball night, and I was making 14 videos a week. Like I was
did we kind of pass over the Rusev feud? Because I thought it was a pretty big feud.
I mentioned it. I mentioned the Rusev feud. We did pass over the Mickie James relationship though, where he had to send her to SmackDown because she was getting too attached to him.
And she met somebody at SmackDown that we got the scoop.
Aye, pinch me right here, Mickey. Pinch me right between my legs.
Where Dickie Steamboat walked in on him, bro. First of all, why would Dickie Steamboat have a key?
That's not a secret anymore, bro.
Why would Dickie Steamboat have a key? We never analyzed this, bro. Why would he have a key to just walk into somebody's hotel room?
Because he was a road agent.
That's bullshit, bro. I wouldn't give somebody access.
Maybe that was his room. Maybe he was staying with Mickey or with Drew. Aye.
Bro, did you ever hear Bret Hart saying people are of the same persuasion? Him and Jim Neidhart, bro, to fuck with the people that clean up. They used to sleep in the same. Now they weren't sleeping in the same bed. They were already up. But when they heard the night people, the cleaning people, they would take off all their clothes, and they would jump into bed together. And then when the cleaning lady would open the door, they would say, "Hi, how you doing?" And then they would just take off the sheet, and they would be in their birthday suit, bro. Brett Clark said that he did that with Jim Neidhart for fun, bro, like to pop themselves.
Yeah, it's rib.
So
Owen was the ribber of that family.
Maybe
though.
Brett Clark had a crush on Vinny, bro. That's why he took it so hard when doing the screw job.
Yep. Instead, he got a piece of Shawn Michaels' ass.
And May, bro. He really looks like Aunt May now.
Do not forget that earlier this year we saw Triple H and Shawn Michaels kiss on the mouth at fucking at the Hall of Fame. Listen, bro.
What's wrong with that, bro? I'm from California. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I know you are okay with that. I'm telling you right now, you'll never catch me kissing you in the mouth, brother. I'm just keeping it real.
That makes me sad. Makes me sad.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. You know what? If the cloners fucking work, you make a clone of me, bro. Lord knows that'd be useful.
Bro, did you know that Rusev fucked what's her name, bro? CJ? Did you know that Rusev fucked CJ?
Lana?
He fucked Lana
Yeah,
in the tank, bro.
Yeah, they claimed that happened. Yeah.
Now that had to be a quickie, though. It had to be. Because
is that Alpha?
I think so.
She's got an ass, so I mean.
But he had to, bro. Think about it like this: he had to get it up on command. And look, it's not like they were in a hotel room or their house. They were in a tank where there was thousands of people, like just. And he had to have.
No, I don't think it was. I think he fucked her after the show ended.
Oh, okay. I thought he fucked her while we're in the tank waiting to come out.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Let me think for a minute. Okay, at WrestleMania.
This is weapon time, bro. That's something that Damien Priest says a lot. What does that mean, bro? You're half Puerto Rican thing. Yeah,
no, I am not. That is false. Okay, so WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 33. Everybody wanted to see John Cena and Samoa Joe. We did not get that. Instead, we got John Cena and Nicole Garcia, Nikki Bella, against The Miz and Maurice. The build-up to this was a lot of fun. This is the infamous night where, after the match, Cena proposes to Nikki Bella. Spoiler alert, they didn't go into deeper hell together. But, Brandon Draven, why do you think Nikki wasn't there last night?
Because she was taking care of Mattel, her kid.
Her kid's named Mattel?
Yeah, bro. Why do you pop at that, bro? That's a name.
Because I like that name. Lou. You remember Lou with his charismatic wife? His second kid is named Mateo. No, his first kid's named Mateo.
Well, her kid is named Mateo. B Jordan 23.
Second kid.
B Jordan 23 is asking, was it beta for Cena to propose to Nikki at the show?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's beta. What do you think?
I don't think that's beta. I mean,
you don't agree with marriage, but that's not inherently beta.
No, I think okay. Once you're in a relationship, fuck it, you're in a relationship. So if you're gonna propose, that's a good way to do it. The only thing where it came off cringe was that everybody knew that was gonna happen. It wasn't like this great, like she was already expecting it, so it was bullshit in that sense. But it wasn't as good as when Randy Macho Man Savage proposed to Liz. I'll tell you that right now.
They were Randy Macho Man Savage proposed to Stephanie McMahon, but yes, the Liz one was great because
no, I think that was in the same hotel where Mickey was with Drew McIntyre, bro. That's what Stephanie and Randy.
No, I think it was that high school where they had found the needles and shit that Matt Bourne left. It was that one, bro.
Elizabeth.
No, remember, bro. The best part is Roddy Piper. Get on your knees. Remember? Randy. Randy.
Here's the best part, bro. This is what makes wrestling wacky.
And then Mean Gene goes, Elizabeth. I remember that segment. I love that segment. Bro.
No, bro,
great all-time.
Here's what I love about wrestling, bro. This is wacky, bro. This is what I love about the business.
This pops me right here.
Roddy Toombs, bro. Roddy Toombs was in a studio. He wasn't there live. And yeah.
You're not supposed to know that, though. Look what this
I love
guy
the
said.
business, bro.
Look what this guy said.
Roddy Toombs was in a studio talking to a pre-tape to get a... And you know what pops me about Roddy Toombs, bro? Is that he probably didn't know that. He probably didn't know that it wasn't live. You know?
How many lines of coke did he do, bro?
Cena would have ended up like Will Smith if he married to the...
No, this is the one I wanted you to pop at, bro. Did you see this one?
Yeah, bro. And then he broke up with her like a week later to go with
Ty Mello, bro. Yeah. That was a fuck situation.
And you know that wasn't gonna end well, bro. Once I talk shit, but once you saw her get into that ring, I was like, bro, you're fucking up right now.
You told me though that you predicted you did say this. You predicted that Sammy and Ty Mello would not last because she's a cluster B, bro.
Well, I could still be right. They haven't been together that long.
You're right. No, you're right. Oh, you think I'm on my third wedding right now. You think it's gonna work out for you?
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
You're good kids. You're gonna be okay.
Hey, they're still together.
Yeah. Wait.
Maria and the Jobber guy.
Yeah, but they're on Ring of Honor, bro.
What's that got to do with their marriage? They're still together.
I feel bad for them. But you know what? What's worse? What I think so. What's worse though, that or in WWE when he got pregnant? Didn't they do an angle where he got pregnant? No, it wasn't him. It was Maria that got pregnant. Never mind.
Hey, why would he get pregnant, bro?
Because wrestling is wacky, and they would have done something like that.
It's gonna be with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Twins. That's right.
Bro, did you know that there was gonna be
Junior?
Did you know that Arnold was gonna? There was gonna be a sequel called Triplets, where they find out that Eddie Murphy's their twin.
No, but that sounds awesome.
It didn't happen, but it's
too
wacky,
bad.
bro.
Evan Rogers is back. Welcome back. He says, this is only as good as the magic of the stories they tell. Who wants to see these stories? At least it was still fun 10 years ago. 10 years ago from now would have been 2015. And it was a decent year, but I don't know, man. I feel like I see where you're coming from. Like we can all agree. Okay, Draven thinks that WWE booking has been shit for a couple of years. I think the peak was WrestleMania 40. I think after that we started to see a drop off, but I don't think it got real bad until January of this year, where it got real bad. Either way, I've seen a lot of other people comment on this, that Triple H is losing his touch, that he's been spending too much time with RFK, taking care of the Happy Meals and shit or whatever the fuck. So whatever he's doing with Trump. So
they got the Grinch ones right now. You don't do Happy Meals anymore, huh?
No. Come on, bro.
Bro, you're missing out. They have the Grinch salt. That's just good.
I've heard. But no, the Triple H's booking has not been great. So even besides the John Cena retirement, there's been other problems.
Let me say something to Evan Rogers, because this is a lot of it is also, and I'm not devaluing your statement, because you have there's some validity to what you're saying.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. There's something else he said that I forgot to. My apologies. This is the super chat before. He said it's not the loss, it's the how, and I'm fine, but I'll be honest. This is a straw. WWE bored me in 19. I came back for Cena, and that's what we get. Oh, so he stopped watching in 2019.
Let me answer first, because
you go ahead. Actually, you go ahead. And
no, and Evan, you're right. I mean, as far as like, they just didn't live up to your expectations, and I think everybody has a right as a consumer to have expectations. There's nothing wrong with that. People have that right. The only thing to me is that, like, you can only make a statement with your actions. So if they're not giving you what you want, like, don't be the person that just continues to watch and just continually talk shit. Like, move on to other entertainment. There's other avenues that have great stories. You could read books, you could watch movies, you could watch TV, you could play video games. All these things also have stories in them. And so you could do that. Unfortunately, you came back after a long sabbatical. It didn't live up to your expectations.
And you missed a couple of good years there, bro.
And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry you feel like that, but it happens. But to me, it's like, if you continue to support the product and you don't like what you're watching, now it's your fault. Now you're the one that's voluntarily being abused. So that's a decision you're gonna have to make.
And one of the things that Draven and I oftentimes will do when it comes to like modern wrestling kind of being not good is watch older wrestling, watch another territory, watch 80s WWF, which is wacky, or even Attitude Era stuff. Like, you don't have to watch the current shit. There's plenty of stuff archived out there on YouTube. There's a gazillion stuff out there. If you still like wrestling and want to watch great stories and stuff like that, there's plenty of it out there, not just modern WWE.
Or if you want to give like AEW a try, I think Cyrus the Virus is doing the best job of his career right now with his promos.
Those promos have been phenomenal as well, but they've always been great.
Who's?
Samoa Joe.
He's always had good promos. I love Samoa Joe's character, where he's this guy, and there's a subtlety. He's this guy, he knows he's older, and somehow he ended up with the belt.
And he's kind of a bitch, but he doesn't want to admit it yet.
You're catching on to the same thing. Like, but see.
Yeah, because I'm a fucking genius, ND.
But see, what I like about that is that they've never told you that. That's something that we pick up from what he puts down. And I love that shit, bro, because this is the first time that Samoa Joe has to play that role, because he's older now. he was always the big bully, the big, now he's still big, but he's not young anymore. So he has to.
And he's got friends to help him, like a heel.
Right. See, those AEW is always an option. They tell stories in different ways, but so to me, it's like, look, if you don't like what they're serving you, there's other options. Don't sit there. It's like when I was watching Cobra Kai, like I almost gave up on it because it just wasn't for me. It was a cartoon, and I don't like cartoons, and it was dumb, and it's still, but I stuck with it, and they kind of, the last episode was pretty good.
The last 3 was great. And then Evan goes on to say, it's like Taker tapping to Lesnar. He's the dead man. All right. He did tap to Lesnar at SummerSlam 2015, but they were trying to get Lesnar over. You have to understand, bro, good guys can't always win. Like, that's something you have to understand. When it comes to pro wrestling, you can't always have the good guys win. Like, I understand where you're coming from as far as, well, it's more about how they're losing, but I want to repeat what I said earlier. Tapping out does not make you a lesser man, bro. It just means that you got caught and you acknowledge it. That's all it means, brother. From pillar to post. Good show, guys. I thought they made the right.
I like that name, brother. I like that name, by the way.
I love that name. I thought they made the right
Robert
choice
Gibson.
last night.
How about that?
Robert, I had a feeling you were going to sneak that in. CM posed like he needs about 3 days of sleep with those bags under his eyes. Bro, I'm worse than he is, bro. I look like a fucking raccoon with rabies, bro.
Let's be careful with that statement because that's a very discriminatory statement.
What, about CM Punk?
Calling yourself a raccoon, bro. Don't do that.
He's with a Puerto Rican, bro. So fucking good for him. Anyway,
he's always had that those, even when he was in his 20s, he's always had those bags under his eyes. He did say that he had some sort of like disease that made his, like, those bags always be there. So he's aware of it.
Yeah, he's aware of it. I don't think he cares. Where are we at right now? We're in 2017. He was gone for a lot of this year.
This is where it started.
Yeah, this is part-time Cena. Then 2018 is when he came back. Well, first he had that Roman match in 2017 when he buried Roman, but he put him over. He put him over in the match, but he buried him on the mic. And then in yeah, bro, that's an understatement, bro. Don't say I didn't warn you. So in 2018, remember the buildup for 2018, Cena wanted The Undertaker at WrestleMania. It was the year after Roman retired.
And not only on top of that, the Marks wanted Cena and Taker at WrestleMania.
Yep. And
the year before they wanted it. The year before.
The year before they wanted Cena and Samoa Joe. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah. This year they wanted Cena Taker, and we did get that match in New Orleans. It was like 3 minutes, and Cena got killed.
Yeah, it was a squash. So this was the beginning of Cena understanding that his days are numbered. He's gonna put people over. And to me, the Taker thing was one of the first. I mean, he had started doing it way back in 2014, but this is more like this is more of a stamp right here. And this go ahead, I was gonna say this is a good example of Vince thinking about wrestling being entertainment instead of wrestling, because essentially what he did was that he robbed people of a great match with two legends and gave us a squash match so that it could help Undertaker in the future. That's how Vince saw it. So that was a good example of how Vince doesn't hyperfixate on 5-star quality matches. He's more about the bigger picture of who's going to get over. And he's always been like that.
This is another one that I actually forgot. I don't recall that being the case, but I trust you. Supposed to be Taker, Cena, and Datasu. I don't remember that. Taker and Shano.
No, it was. Yes. But Cena was hurt, though. Cena was
hurt. Right.
He came back and he confronted the Wyatts, right? No, that was The Rock.
That was The Rock and
Cena, both of them.
I think Mick Foley too, right? And I seem to remember something like that.
No, that was another segment. That was with the United
Nations.
That
was Mick, Shawn, and Austin. That's right.
Where Austin broke his ass.
Right. That's right. So, okay, now at this point, now Cena becomes a part-timer. He actually would make a few appearances here and there. He comes back for a match with Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Pandemic hits. So they have that what was the Firefly Funhouse match at
Yes.
WrestleMania in Tampa? Yeah, or it was supposed to be in Tampa. And
yeah,
then
one of them that you had a hard time processing, bro.
Well, I did. That was a very hard time in my life.
And do you still have the tickets for that?
I do.
You should burn them, bro. It's a rite of passage.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna tell you something right now on there. Not personal, but I would just say this. Until you could burn those tickets, you're still gonna be holding on to shit. That's all I'll say here. You know, without getting into details.
I think I know what you mean.
The day that the day that you could voluntarily just get rid of them is the day that you're in a better place. But if you're not there, you're not there. That's okay. That's okay. You're not there yet. That's okay.
I'm trying. Let me get this super chat here from James Styler. It's weird to see fans hated Super Cena winning all the time, and then they cry when he got Gunther over. It was a poetic ending, and they need to get a grip.
It's two different fan bases, though. It's two different fan bases, too. Let's not forget about that.
It is two different fan bases.
This fan base never saw Super Cena like we saw Super Cena.
Yeah.
Or Peggy Sue Super Cena.
Not to mention that I think a lot of those fans from back then either are gone or they're still around, but they're not as vocal anymore, or they just start liking Cena now. So, you know, because when he became a part-timer, started getting guys over and became a great worker. He did become a great worker. And so he was gone for a while until the summer of 2021. He comes back at the end of Money in the Bank 2021. And if you remember, because this is when we were leaving the pandemic, Cena was advertised for multiple house shows in 2021, and the numbers for the house show sales went up, proving that even in 2021, John Cena, as a nostalgia act, was selling tickets.
Yeah, but by this point, he had already blown up in Hollywood.
Yeah,
you know,
and he was already super part-time at this point.
Yeah, and then he already had done the Fast movie. So he was on his way.
Sloppy House and I went to the SmackDown where it was the last SmackDown of 2022. Remember, he almost missed wrestling that year, and it was him and Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Do you remember that match?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was he said that was the last WWE show I attended. Yeah, bro, this guy right here buries me for getting nosebleeds when you were the one that bought the tickets. He should have buried you.
No respectable man should ever have nosebleeds.
Well, nowadays nosebleeds are about 10 grand. So at this point in 2020, so at this point, Cena now in 2023, Cena put over Austin Theory, Solo, and who else did he put over in 2023? Do you remember?
His hairline.
That's true. Let me see. Okay, he lost to Solo Sikoa. He lost to
Austin Theory.
John Cena and LA Knight against the Bloodline, Solo and Jimmy Uso. Yeah, that's it. Those are the only big matches he had, I think. AJ Styles and John Cena against the Bloodline. That was a dark match in 2023.
Yeah, he didn't wrestle much.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. In fact, if you go to Cage Match, Tony Khan's favorite website, it's got actually. Let me pull this up, bro. Let me actually get this on screen. Because you can make jokes about Cage Match, but if you look at the screen, this is a great resource to find stuff. So see right here at the very top, Gunther defeats John Cena 23-43. Like, this is Cena's entire career right here. So we could have actually used this as a guide, but guess what? I did it all from my brain. So here we have Cena versus Baron Corbin. I forgot about that feud. That was MSG. Daniel Bryan beat John Cena for the WWE title in 2018. Yeah, man, this is Cena's whole career right here. So then the next time we saw him is when he said he was going to retire this year, and that's where we're at now. So
I was there live, bro. Money in the Bank in Canada. I was there for that show.
Are we done with his career?
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple questions for you. First of all, your favorite John Cena match of all time? The Funhouse match, bro. No, I was kidding.
No. I actually don't even know, bro. The one that first popped in my head was him against Edge in that TLC from Toronto.
Okay.
Because that was fucking good. You know, one of the things about Cena we didn't talk about too much is he's the king of last man standing matches. Every single last man standing match he has is like a classic match, bro.
Yeah, but it's also very choreographed.
Yes, it is. Umaga at Royal Rumble 07.
Okay, that was a great match.
Actually, the real answer is Cena versus Seth versus Brock.
Old Sloppy says Money in the Bank 2011.
That was him and Punk.
But
he said that's the easy answer. For me, I like the three-way with Cena, Seth, and Brock more.
Versus Punk and Money in the Bank in Chicago. That's an easy one.
Yeah, that's a layup.
I have one for you, bro. It's going to surprise you, and it does have recency bias. And that's Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, bro.
That's a great one, bro. And Cena versus AJ.
No, that was I liked it. It was a tribute match, but I liked it. But Cena versus Cody, I guess it reminded us that he could still go when he has to. You know, that's one of the things I really like about it. He did have some good matches, bro, especially during that whole US title run. He had some good matches during that time. Didn't he also wrestle Cesaro, bro, on a random SmackDown or Raw that was really good? It got a lot of good critical acclaim as well.
I remember that because that was when we actually thought Cesaro was going to get pushed.
Yes, and it was like a really good match.
This is a good one right here too. The last Cena AJ match before the one we had this year was good.
The one with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam where Jon Stewart interfered. That was another good one.
I forgot about the Jon Stewart thing.
Yeah, that was
yeah. So Evan once again says Lesnar didn't need it. Are you talking about him beating Cena this year? You're right. He did not need it. And tapping out is quitting, man. If he quit, that destroys the character. Tell me how many who came back for him are staying.
We don't know that yet. We don't really know that. That's going to be shown in the next few months because he's gone. I mean, we haven't had another show since he left. So the second part, we don't know.
Yeah, CM Punk is probably staying. Lesnar, most of them are probably staying, bro. AJ staying for a little while.
I think he's talking about the fan base, bro.
Oh, is that what he's talking about? Yeah, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
I honestly don't even have an answer for it. Like, there's no way to even tell because these fans, Cena himself said on Joe Rogan that he thinks they're going to forget about him in a month. And I don't think that's the case. I think some fans will move on, but I think people are going to remember him.
Yeah, but another thing I have is like, who cares if they destroy the character? Like, who cares?
No, I know. He's done. It doesn't matter. That's what we told him that already earlier. What do you think about this questions for you?
What was your favorite movie of the year? Mine, Sentimental Value. Weapons, in my opinion. I really like Weapons, but I could see why people had trouble with the third act. It got very comedic all of a sudden.
I liked it.
I liked it too. My favorite movie would probably be One Battle After Another or Sinners. Sinners was early in the year, and I no movie really ever beat that movie in my opinion. Yeah, and then that would be One Battle After Another. I'm trying to think if there's any dramas that there was a couple of comedies that I really enjoyed, but yeah. So I'm gonna get into a list right now in a little bit. Are we ready for this list?
Yeah, no, we're ready now. We're over 3 hours, brother. I thought we were gonna be done in 2. So, but it's never like that on these shows. So Draven's got the 21 best movies of the 21st century.
Well, it's 20, bro, because I noticed that Tarantino did 20, not 21. So let me.
You should do 21 because it's the 21st century.
Let me preface this by saying really quick.
Godzilla -1.
I'm gonna give this story because somebody asked earlier. There he goes. What do you think about Tarantino calling Paul Dano weak sauce? Look, Paul Dano's an amazing actor. Okay, He's not the type of guy that I go out of my way. Like he's not a draw, right? He's not a draw. He's a guy that's gonna give you a great performance. Every movie,
especially in Prisoners.
Oh, he was awesome in Prisoners, bro. A lot of every movie he does, he's solid. Tarantino, I don't know what happened because it was very personal. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard also caught stray bullets of his hate during that list, which is weird. My theory is that Paul Dano turned them down for a job because that's the kind of actor he would go for, and then he just holding a grudge ever since then. Tarantino got a lot of heat from a lot of people in the entertainment business for saying that because it was unprovoked. It was mean-spirited. It was malicious. Like, it was just mean. It wasn't even like, because he said he was the worst actor in SAG, bro. And I'm like, you're in SAG. Like, Tarantino's an actor in SAG, so he can't be the worst actor because he's not better. He's a better actor than Tarantino. So it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so Tarantino gave his list of the best movies of the 21st century. I will say this. A lot of his choices, to me, I don't know if you saw it, Danny, but to me, they're all credible. They're all good movies. There was nothing there that I was like, what the fuck? Other than the Jackass movie, which was weird, but okay.
Yeah, his number one for comedy was Naked Gun. And I was like, where the hell's Police Academy, bro? That's the same kind of humor.
No, but that's another list, bro. This is for the 21st century.
Right, this is the other list. But
so,
bro,
anyways,
my list of favorite comedies has Police Academy in the top 20.
Oh, that might be my number one comedy of all time, bro.
It's up there, bro. It's up there. My number one comedy of all time is Scarface.
I'm gonna give you my list, and then I want you to give me a couple blurbs, just a couple blurbs, what you think.
From 20, you're going from 20 and up, right?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're not. I'm just gonna give you. They're not really.
Do you want to answer this last super chat here about
Okay,
Cena?
yeah.
All right, this is the last one about Cena. Do you want to read it or I'll read it?
Yo, you read it.
Okay, so it's from James Tyler 3606. Ultimately, what do you guys think Cena's wrestling legacy would be? I think he filled the void that Rock Austin left and stuck around as the face, but he didn't do anything new. He was the modern Hogan. That's pretty close. There are shades of Hogan and Bruno in Cena's run.
Yes. Here's the deal, bro. I don't think he's the GOAT. Obviously, we know that. If you know about wrestling, he's not the GOAT. I think he's the guy that came at the right time. I think he's a guy that was given the ball and delivered. I think there did come a moment, I think I would say around 05, 06, where Vince McMahon became very complacent with him, right? It was wash, rinse, repeat for about 5 to 7 years.
09 is when I felt that happen, but yeah.
Right. And so I do agree with what he says. He didn't do anything new. It was literally the same formula for years and years and years.
And it got worse because 09 Cena was doing that thing that Ricochet does now. Oh, Ricochet does that shit.
But Ricochet does it for heat, though. Cena wasn't doing it for heat, bro.
I know, bro.
So he thought he was actually cool. But no, I think he's necessary in our business. You know, he's the best thing we could have had.
His Make-A-Wish is the best thing he did. I think.
Right. And the best thing we could have had is him coming along and saving WWE, because WWE was really bad from 2002 to 2005 as far as drawing people. So, yeah, so that's what I think about it. He has a place in the greatest of all time list. Not the greatest, but he's top 10 for sure, maybe even top 5. As a merchandise seller, as a draw, you know, all those things, he definitely has a lot of like top 5 qualities to him. But there's people that have done it better than him when it comes to every metric, you know, as far as merchandise.
He's like a jack of all trades.
As far as merchandise, you're never going to get any better than Prime Austin. You're never going to get any better than Prime NWO. As far as drawing money, you're never going to get better than Prime Rock, Prime Hogan. As far as wrestling, it goes without saying, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Ric Flair. So he's up there, but he's not the greatest of anything. But he's very appreciated for his legacy. So he came at the right time when we needed him. He played a role, and now he's off into the sunset to make more movies, which is good for him. So that's what I think about John Cena.
That's it. That's
all right.
it. And then Killer Post Scarface is the most overrated movie of all time. I don't know about that. Go ahead.
Mark the Mark is going to get pissed, but that's his favorite movie of all time.
Another one here. It's either Punk versus Cena Raw 2013 or Royal Rumble 2017 with AJ and I Care. The characters make it more than just choreographed fight. Brother, everybody knows that. What we're trying to tell you is that the John Cena character, when you said earlier that he was dead, it doesn't matter because he's retired. See what I'm saying? He's not playing that character anymore. So
look at occult knowledge. Look at occult knowledge.
Hold on, man.
He's right underneath Evan Rogers.
Wait a minute. He's talking about Logan the Time Traveler, bro? That is him, bro. Motherfucker, that is him. That's one of his alt accounts, bro.
What's up, Logan Wade Sakes?
From Michelle Trojano. Anyways,
okay,
all
let
right.
me give you my list.
Go over your list. Let's go.
You're falling asleep on us over here, bro.
From least, like, yeah, work your
okay,
way.
here we go. The first one is one that I am going to agree with Tarantino. I wanted to put at least one cartoon in here, and this is one that I've seen multiple times, and it always gets to me, and that's Toy Story 3. What are your memories of Toy Story 3?
Toy Story 3, and everybody says it, including
very
Tarantino.
Powerful movie.
I did not see it until 2019. I enjoyed it, and that should have been the end of the saga right there. It was the perfect ending to the trilogy.
I like the metaphor of like the snot-nosed punk kid giving his toys to another snot-nosed punk kid as a, you know, to change, right? As the big life change moment. Danny Louis, by the way, it took him till he was 40 years old to sell his kid helmets. So he needs to watch Toy Story 3 to get more inspired, to understand that collecting toys, especially when you don't have any children, it could be a little, that's a red flag, to use one of the popular social media terms. All right, the next one. I really like this movie, bro, 1917. I thought this movie was, especially if you see it in the theaters, if you understand the gimmick of like, it wasn't really one shot. They did some trickery, but the whole movie takes place as, you know, one continuous shot. The scene when he gets out of that fucking, the little huts that they built back in World War I, you know, little they dig out the sand.
This was refreshing because it was a World War I movie, not a World War II movie. We always get World War II movies. World War I never gets the attention World War II does.
Right. You always get World War I or Nam, bro. You know, going after Charlie.
No, 2 or Nam, yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Zeta Force. Thank you.
So you like 1917, right?
I only saw it once, but I did like it.
When he runs out of the hut, bro, and they're throwing the bombs and they're like right behind him. Oh man, that's cinematic beauty, bro.
It was very much like Dunkirk. It was the same style as Dunkirk.
Yes, Serge Salinas, 1917 war movie. The next one is Shape of Water, bro. Memo del Toro. I'm not really a Memo del Toro fan, bro, because I think he's a little he's a little bloated, not in more ways than one. He's just full of himself sometimes. But this one got to me, bro. Something about being an outsider, right? Something about being a misunderstood and then finding a connection with another, even if it wasn't another human being. I really felt for the love story. You know, Michael Shannon always plays that scummy heel, like in everything. He's great at it, you know, so he does it here. I really love that movie, bro. This is one that
Serge, he did make Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are your memories of Shape of Water? I think you only saw that one once too, right?
I think, were you the one that sent it to me?
No, Brian, I don't send links and shit like that, bro. You saw that theater.
No. I got this was 2014, right? Okay, so I got that movie on a DVD. It was one of those the critics get them? What are they called? Screeners. Yeah, I got a screener for that film. I saw it. I liked it, but it didn't stick with me, bro. It was a decent movie, but it's a one and done for me. I just never saw any reason
that was
to watch
one that
it
hit
again.
me emotionally. So sometimes they're not gonna hit other people, like you said.
Right.
Then the next one is one that I'm pretty sure you haven't seen, but it's an amazing idea, an amazing movie. It's called The Artist, which is from like 2012 or 2013.
I have the movie, but I haven't seen it.
Which is a silent film, but the story is kind of like meta, where it's about this actor who falls in love with a woman during the silent era, and she becomes a big star, and then she ends up forgetting about him. And then through life circumstances, they come back together at the end. They realize their mistakes and they live happily ever after. It's it's like a nice little inside look at how the cinema used to be before sound, but at the same time using that the entire movie's like that. What a fucking great movie, bro! And again, those movies always get me in the feels too.
Did it win Best Picture? I think it did
win Best Picture, bro.
Okay.
Yes, Sloppy House. John Goodman was in that one. Then the next one, bro, is I love this movie, bro. Traffic, bro.
That's a
Traffic
good one.
is amazing, from the year 2000.
3-hour movie.
No, it's about 220, but it has.
I thought it was 3.
It shows you how drugs affect communities at every level, from government to smaller neighborhoods. It shows you the cops. Benicio del Toro is a Puerto Rican who's playing a Mexican for some reason. But he won an Academy Award. I think he was nominated. He did a great job in that movie. He plays a policeman from TJ from Tijuana who has to deal with the corruption at a ground level. And then you have Michael Douglas who plays the czar. He works for the government, and his daughter gets hooked on drugs. And you see that connection, how it starts from the bottom and it goes all the way to the top. And then you have one of your favorites, bro, Stephen Barr, playing the main cartel guy, the main guy, bro, because that seems to be the only thing he does.
The only real Cuban in Scarface, bro.
Manolo, bro, the real victim too when you think about it. So that's one of my favorites, bro. Serge, you need to see that movie. Wonderful, wonderful movie. Then this one, bro, I try to separate if the performance by a person makes the entire movie great, but I put this one because I go back to it a lot, and that's The Dark Knight. Now, The Dark Knight, you wonder, was it Heath Ledger that we come back to that movie, or was the film great? It's two different questions, right?
It could be both. It could be both. He was good and the movie was good.
But I love this movie because this movie is a movie that you could be watching. You could land on it like channel surfing, and you always just you're magnified, you know.
I have this.
Still have my Criterion.
I have it too.
What are your memories of The Dark Knight, bro? Here we are, almost 20 years later.
It's. I can't say it's overrated because it's a difficult movie to talk about. It's a great movie with a great story. Everybody knows that. It gets compared to everything. It's like, I'm not saying it's overrated, but the fact that on IMDb it's like number 4, like that's a little much. I think it's not the 4th best movie ever made, but great script, great performances, and I mean, dude, it
gets a little weird that the Joker's always in front of everything, right? That is kind of weird.
Everything works out just perfect.
But we don't know that, though.
No, you and I both talked about that. Remember how he knew the helicopter was going to go right through those 2 buildings? Like, that's a bit much.
Okay,
but it is still a great movie.
But as I've gotten older and I've rewatched it, and this is taking in consideration his character, right? His character.
Right.
What about?
He's great.
So people don't say that I'm cheating or whatever. No, this is his character. What about if he always had Plan B and Plan C for every little thing? Because his character was very chaotic. And it would always plan different scenarios. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you.
Do you agree with that? Like, do you agree that his character is good? Is good enough to assume that he always had like backup plans, and that's why it seemed like everything was working out?
Yes, he did. But some of it was a bit too, like, you know. I like that movie because the reason what makes that movie good, I think, is that every time you watch it, there's something new you like about it. At least for me. I've seen The Dark Knight probably about 14, 15 times, and every time I watch it, I do find something new to love about it, like we do with Pulp Fiction. Thank you, Caulfield. Rest in peace, Peter Green, bro. Zed's dead, baby.
That's
Zed's
right,
dead.
Bro. 60 years old, very young still.
Yeah, Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Then the next one is a movie that I revisit quite a bit. It's got an amazing cast, bro. It's got George Clooney. It's got Brad Pitt. It's got Casey Affleck. It's Ocean's 11, bro. Like, you know.
Really? I never knew you were a big fan of that movie.
Oh, I love it, bro. The dialogue's amazing. Sports guy, back me up on Ocean's 11. It's just so clever. That's a movie. That's another one. Andy Garcia plays the lead heel of the hotel owner that they go steal all his money from. Great comedy. Just an amazing script, bro. And everybody gets the spotlight in that movie. Everybody. Even Jake Busey's kid, Scott Busey or whatever the fuck, or no, it's not Busey. It's fucking Santino from The Godfather's kid.
Right.
Great fucking movie, bro. You should, if you haven't seen it in a while, go check it out. Ocean's 11. That's
Ocean's 11. Film. Yeah, I've got Ocean's 11, 12, 13, and 8. Yeah.
Here's another one that we both really enjoy, bro. Top tier movie, and that's Logan. That's another movie
that movie broke me emotionally.
Hugh Jackman, bro.
Broke me.
Hugh Jackman was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna act the fuck out of this script, bro. I'm gonna go in there and show the world that I'm more than just a fucking comic book, fucking popcorn movie shit." And this man just goes into this movie and he just takes over, bro. Like his performance. I mean, Professor Xavier was really good too. Don't get me wrong. Like
Patrick Stewart has been phenomenal in that role.
Patrick Stewart is like, nah, this motherfucker's not gonna outstage me. I'm gonna keep up with him. And he goes out there, bro, and he fucking does it. It's very heartwarming when he passes away. The story's so tragic, right? Because there's so many little things that you think about later on. Like, for example, one of the things that makes this movie sad to me is the fact that Logan's powers is what makes him the last one, because he just can't die, but yet he's dying slowly because he keeps on healing more than everyone else. So in essence, his power became his curse. He just can't. It's hard for him to just die, you know. But he saw everybody else die. And then seeing the villain, which is him as well, playing another role. He's the one that finally kills him. It's a great movie, bro. And he should have gotten an Academy Award nomination for it. And you know, I'm glad that he's getting big paydays for that even now. The next one, bro. Go ahead.
We have super chat. Evan Rogers. I don't know if he's talking about WWE still. He says doing it out the door is just as bad. It's the Luke throwing the lightsaber away type thing. I don't know why, but they keep doing that with every piece of media. See, but I'm not sure if he's talking about, like, when you say they, do you mean like you're comparing wrestling to Star Wars, or are you saying all media is selling out its original characters? Because I don't agree with that. Because Cobra Kai actually took the original characters and made them better and more interesting. Okay, Harry Silver was a cartoonish villain, bro, and in Cobra Kai he had layers.
Okay, let me go ahead and answer Evan Rogers, because it's a trend in Hollywood right now with the whole legacy sequels, right? Legacy sequels have become a thing. Indiana Jones, Star Wars, the Scream movies, and it's a very, like, a booking philosophy that Hollywood has tried to do, where you get the old characters. It's the same thing as in wrestling, and you transfer their heat over to new characters.
Right.
And that's not, we have a lot of movies like that now. And so I see what he's saying, that it's like every piece of media is doing that, and there's money there. What you do is that
that's a fact.
You use the old characters that people like me and you grew up with, and you introduce new characters that the younger generation is going to gravitate in theory to, and then you could milk that IP for more money. So the theory is sound, but it doesn't always work. Like, I don't think it worked with Star Wars. No, the legacy characters were still more over than the new characters in Star Wars, which is
significantly.
You don't want. It has to be the other way around.
I think Cobra Kai did it right, and I think Creed taking over the Rocky series also did it right.
Right, so. Correct. And then Indiana Jones also failed at that. So, you know, not everybody gets it right.
Yeah, Indiana Jones did fail completely.
Okay, the next one is The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is another one that I go back to quite a bit. It's just
Lighthouse. That Robert Greene?
Robert Pattinson and Robert Greene. Well, you mean Peter Green's dead?
No.
Willem Dafoe.
The director.
Robert Eggers, yeah.
Eggers, yeah, from The Witch.
Right. What an amazing film, bro.
And Nosferatu.
Another one of these great movies where it works in different ways. It works as a fairy tale. It works as a movie of redemption. It works. Robert Pattinson's amazing. Willem Dafoe's amazing. You get this sense of dread throughout the entire movie. The sense of isolation. And it's just great performances, bro. It's just essentially both of them, just two people acting. And then The Lighthouse kind of becomes a character on its own. That's when that performance, and the Duffer Brothers' first movie, which I think was called Good Life or Good with Robert Pattinson. That's when I knew this guy had arrived, and this guy was going to take a route of, like, I want to be a good actor, and I'm going to take these roles to be a good actor, instead of just being known as the Twilight guy.
That kind of happened with what's his name, bro? The guy who plays Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
He went from doing Harry Potter, making a bunch of money, to doing all these, like, really movies that highlight his talent.
Right.
Which, by the way, folks, The Smashing Machine is now available on streaming with The Rock. I'm just going to say this. I love Pride, and I love that era. And I think the movie is worth watching because Rock does do a great job playing that character. I think it's a one and done. but I would not be surprised if it got a bunch of nominations because he did do great in that.
No, he did. He got nominated. Dwayne got nominated for Golden Globe.
Yeah, Golden Globe, but I meant Oscar. But yeah,
Josh Briggs. Yeah, Swiss Army Man is a great movie.
So do you think Evan's right about comparing Luke the lightsaber to see this happen? I think you mentioned that earlier. Do you think he's right about that?
Yes, I do. But I called you out on it, but you kind of skirted through because one really upset you, the other one didn't, and I don't understand that.
It's a different story. I don't see it.
It's the same thing, though. It's the same thing. It's two characters that are being blown off because they both die at the end, and they're just transferring heat. It's the same thing. I mean, when you cut it down to the fundamentals, it's the same thing. Yeah, there's little differences here and there, but it's literally the same thing.
Execution.
But I have an answer for you, brother. You're probably not gonna like. The issue, the issue with you and Luke is that Luke means so much to you as a character. That's why you have a hard time letting go and allowing him to evolve or devolve as a story concept. That's why, because you're tight. So that is what a lot of people are like that with Cena. Same thing, you know. So I see why people are upset. Yes, Benjamin Mendoza. I have seen the Rocky IV director's cut, and it sucks. Don't watch it.
Yeah, it's
boring.
It's not what people were expecting.
The next one on my list is Step Brothers, bro. That movie's amazing to me. It's like
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, and John C. Reilly.
That is a good one. Yeah, I did not expect that to be on your list, bro.
Oh no, I watch it once a year, and I bust up every single time.
I never knew you watched that movie once a year.
I love it, bro. It's Step Brothers, bro. You can't. The movie's so absurd, and it's so funny, and it's so quotable, bro. Right? It's like when they measure their dicks. Are we best friends now? You know. Well. and then and then when they're building the bunk beds, bro, and they're not, and then I think it's Will Ferrell the one's like, this is how we do it, and then he jumps on the bunk bed and it sinks and it fucks up John C. Reilly, bro, or maybe it's the other way around. And then when he has the Yoda shirt and he's wearing the Chewbacca mask and they're trying to come up with all their bills, and dude, that movie's funny, bro. I love that movie. And it has Adam Scott being wacky as the older serious brother, with the fake six-pack. Dude, it's fucking what a great movie, bro. If y'all haven't seen Step Brothers, get on it, bro. That's a classic. Another one, bro, and I don't know if we've never talked about this movie, but this movie's a classic, and that's Battle Royale, bro. Like, we've never talked about it, and it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Have you seen it?
Which one?
Battle Royale.
Yes, actually, what's crazy about that is I bought Battle Royale on VHS. It was a bootleg copy when I was in high school. I did not like it. However, I watched it with very bad video quality. That's one I've been meaning to revisit. Same thing with Ringu. Recently, Arrow had a sale. I was going to get Ringu, but instead I got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with R. Lee Ermey. The 2004 one and the prequels, yes. I like those a lot.
Those are good. They're good movies. No, yeah. Battle Royale is first of all, Hunger Games was a big ripoff. Yes, it was a big ripoff. Yes. But Battle Royale is creepy because they use real Japanese kids. Like they're it's not adults playing Japanese, and the idea that they all have
teenagers,
and it's very violent. And they find there's like 30 kids when the whole movie starts, and they find ways to get them all over. They have the lead hero, the kid who like volunteered because he's fucking crazy. This kid, he volunteers to go into the game just so that he could kill people. That's literally what he does, and he kind of makes it. It's a great movie. It's Japanese, bro, and you know those Japanese are out there. So Battle Royale, bro, it's one of the greatest movies ever made, to be honest, and a lot of people love it. Another one, bro, is Hereditary. Which is
Hereditary is absolutely on my list.
Another A24.
Did you know that? Do you remember when Impact changed its name to TNA Wrestling and they were in the backyard? Oh, Sloppy House was in my living room and he goes, "What is this? The end of Hereditary?" And it popped me because it looked just like that, bro. When they're outside and all the TNA wrestlers were there, we're bringing it back.
No, that's a great movie, and it's like it's very moody. It's a very moody film. it's
like
got a
these
lot
two
of.
guys said the same
Isn't Gogo
thing.
from Kill Bill? Yes, she is. Holy shit,
Yes,
that's right. She
yes.
plays a big.
Two people pointed that out.
Yeah, Gogo
This is
Gimari.
the last super chat, I think, from Evan. Both were terrible and they didn't need to do it. And I think both WWE and Star Wars is worse off for it. Plus, my bro was there and he loves Cena as
Bro,
a kid.
there's a whole storyline with this guy. All of a sudden, he's introducing his brother into what the fuck is going on?
But here's the thing: you don't think there were a ton of people that agree with you, bro. It ain't just your brother. You got to open your eyes and look at the whole world. A lot of people agree with you more than just your brother.
What did Bobby Heenan tell Kerry Atkinson, bro, at SummerSlam 90? You gotta keep your head off the clouds.
Out of the clouds. You don't have your feet on the ground. You see a Texas tornado, never really does any damage.
Oh shit, bro.
You know, now that we're using this gimmick, as I call it, we don't have to summarize the promos, bro. I just gotta see.
Sir Salinas, why was your little cousin crying over what movie? Midsommar? I hope not.
I mean, that movie is very disturbing. No argument there. You know, no. Yes, it's very disturbing. So I'm trying.
I got another one for you, and I want your thoughts on this one. This is another one that I think is a classic. Final Destination is also on my list, bro.
I never liked those movies. I really didn't. I was never a fan of those movies.
Don't you think that it's wait before you put? Don't you think that it's clever that nobody had thought about making Death the main villain in the movies? Like Death,
yes,
bro.
It is clever.
Like if you cheat Death, that's gonna come back and get you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna find you eventually. It's like the destiny fate thing. But that's why I didn't like it, because it didn't really have a proper antagonist, and so the movies it just didn't connect with me.
Well, you have to outsmart Death, because that's the whole gimmick.
Yeah, and
but you can though, and you're right, because everybody in those movies dies, including who were following. They usually die at the end. Everybody dies because it's Death.
Right,
bro.
everybody dies.
All right, I got another one for you, bro. Inglourious Bastards. You've never seen that one, huh?
Not all the way through. No, wait, I think I saw it once and didn't like it, but you and I were supposed to watch it again and we never got to.
Yeah, because we ran out of time. But you know what? This movie's amazing. You know, Brad Pitt.
I'm surprised you didn't put what? Go ahead.
No, I mean that's my favorite Tarantino from this era. You know, from this era.
More than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because you really love that one.
No, I do, because I love Tarantino. He's great. He's an asshole, but he makes great movies. But Inglourious, Christoph Waltz as Hans Lanza, bro, the Jew hunter. I mean, the guy is incredible in that movie, bro. Especially during that opening scene where he gives his monologue about how Jews are like rats, and how the Nazis are like hawks, and he compares the animals to. It's what a great movie, bro. And then the main actress who plays Shoshana. Not only is the first scene awesome, there's another scene in the middle where you know, she escapes from Hans Landa, but then they're sitting together eating strudel, and it's a very tense scene, bro.
Yeah, the little pastry, bro. I love that scene.
That's right. But you don't know. See, here's the thing. Years before, she ran away from him, right? When he killed her family, and he didn't really see her face. He just saw her running. And then later on, when they're sitting together, and this is what Tarantino's, that tension. Does he know
that scene is very tense?
Does he know that she's the girl, or is he fucking with her, or does he not know? She doesn't know that, so she's nervous as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then they have the classic bar scene with our boy Fassbender, bro, with the whole three and with the Nazis and the English army.
Yes, the bar scene. That was like the big action scene,
right? And then all of a sudden, at the end, when they know they're all fucked because they're all gonna die in that bar, Fassbender's like, "Could I have a smoke, my old chap, as my last thing?" And then he just turns on the cigarette, and then the German guy speaks English. What a great fucking movie, bro. Then the next one is a gimme, bro. I love this fucking movie. It's the one that brought us here, and that is There Will Be Blood, bro.
I had a feeling you were gonna put that on the list, bro.
Like
Paul
that.
Thomas Anderson,
Daniel Day-Lewis, bro. He's great in everything, but here.
I'll drink your milkshake.
The themes of like greed and just this man ended up alone, bro. He ends up alone because he's so greedy, and it's a representation of the American dream and how it's so void of any.
You want to talk about the American Dream?
Put that one on, bro.
Oh, no, let's hear. Never get a promo like that. You'll never get a promo like that in WWE now, bro. But here's another one. Here's another one, bro.
Remember, we get to hear all the. All right, let me finish this list real quick. I'm almost done.
All right.
All right, hold on here. Let me put.
What number are we on?
I got 5 more.
Really? Okay.
Yes, the number. You never saw Drive, huh? That's another classic, bro.
That's with
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. I saw Baby Driver. And I love that.
No, that's a great one. That was a finalist, bro. That was a finalist, but didn't make the cut.
Didn't Dan Day-Lewis play Texas Tornado in that one movie? I wish, bro. Imagine him playing Kerry Von Erich. Well, he might actually saw his own foot off, bro. He's a method actor. He saw his own shit off.
Drive is an amazing movie, bro. It's a revenge movie, but the cinematography in it is what makes it awesome. The soundtrack, the performances. Ron Perlman is the lead heel, one of the heels. But yeah, it's a Albert Brooks is the main heel, I think, which is wacky. So people should need to check out Drive. Then my 4, Inception. I don't think Christopher Nolan has done something more original than Inception, bro. That's another one that I revisit at least once every 2 years.
So you don't count Memento as part of 21st Century?
No, yeah, but I like Inception better.
Okay.
Dude, Inception's that story is fucking so original, bro. Like, tell me.
I thought it was overrated.
And then he's got what I like about Inception, bro, is that he uses all his boys in it. Because usually he has to use part of them because they're always busy. But here he has Tom Hardy, he has Cillian Murphy, he has all of them, bro.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
like all the people that he works with, you know.
Inception was a ripoff of Perfect Blue. Yes, it was. Perfect Blue was an anime movie.
I mean, you could say that, but it was still phenomenal. It was a great. The cinematography was great, and then he was using some technology to bend the fucking buildings and shit. That shit was like new technology at the time. All right, hold on.
Right.
And then this one I don't think you've seen, but it's amazing. People in the chat, put it on if you've seen I Saw the Devil, bro, which is an international film.
I did see it. I own it.
So
wait, hold on. No. I got it mixed up with the devil Late Night with the Devil. That's the one that I got.
No, that's another great movie too, but that's not the one I'm talking about. So no, I Saw the Devil is about this guy that I believe he's a cop.
The Korean movie.
Right. And a serial killer kills his wife. And so the cops, he continuously kidnaps the serial killer and tortures him and then releases him and then captures him once again until he messes up one time and then the tables get turned and then the serial killer is after him.
Right.
Great fucking movie, bro.
Who is the real villain?
Oh yeah, that's the metaphor. Is like when you turn into a monster to kill a monster.
Right.
And then my last 2.
You know what? I'm starting to wonder if Daniel Day-Lewis might have watched this show and got inspiration, bro, with this level of performance, bro. I mean, look at Bobby, bro.
Let's get back to you out of the arena.
Don't forget, this is the show where Earthquake is doing this for like 25 minutes straight without stopping, bro.
The Walrus.
Yeah, what was it? That was the Warthog.
Warthog.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me finish my list, and then we'll do this.
And I went looking for. I searched
because I'm running out of gas over here.
All right, me too. I'm getting tired.
Then the next one is Gladiator. What do you think of Gladiator, bro?
That's a classic, bro. I didn't get to see the second one, but I mean, that's a classic. Won a bunch of awards.
What do you think of Joaquin Phoenix as the lead heel, bro?
He's good in everything, bro. I mean,
yeah, he's awesome in that movie. He's the heel, like he's the spoiled brat, bro.
Russell Crowe and Ridley Scott. I've always been more of a Tony Scott fan, but what's funny about this movie is this movie feels more like a Tony Scott movie.
That's right.
It does.
This is the very definition of a hero's journey, bro. Because when the movie starts, Russell Crowe. He has everything, right? He's a general of the army. He's like, and then he loses everything. They get him as a slave, and he's got to build himself back up to be the best in the Roman Colosseum. And then he sacrifices himself because he kills the disease, bro, which is Joaquin Phoenix. But then he also gets stabbed.
Not the disease that Jerry Lawler has. Not that one though.
No, the disease called AIDS, baby. And then, of course, the last one is to me, it's a damn near perfect movie. It's a representation of 10 years of work. They're about to fuck it up, but I don't care. And that's Avengers Endgame, bro. There's nothing in
really.
There is nothing.
That's your number one?
Yes.
I was not expecting that.
Bro, how many times do I see this movie at least once a year? And
right, but I didn't think it'd be number one, bro. I thought you put Hateful Eight or something like that over.
No, here's the thing. To me, like, again, I'm invested in the MCU, so it's a culmination of everything. My number one is not gonna be number one for a lot of people because you have to have the context of all the movies that came before. Just the way everything fits in, the ending. The way everybody's at, where Thor's at the end, where the original 6, where they all end up at the end, some of them are dead, 3 of them are dead. 3 of the 6 original ones, no, 2. The other one just doesn't come back from the future or whatever.
Right.
He comes back looking like Joe Biden, but
right.
But then according to the scuttlebutt, we're gonna see an after credit scene of Doctor Doom kind of like looking at him or some shit.
Yeah, it's gonna tie it together somehow.
Right, so that's my list, man. So yeah, no, Avengers Endgame is a beautiful fucking movie, bro.
No Joker on the list, that surprises me.
That was I thought about it.
Or the Batman, which I thought you were gonna put on the list so we could talk about the wheelchair story, but I guess not.
No. Here's the thing, bro. Before we leave, I like how you're gonna go back to Dusty, bro. We don't
have to do Dusty. We can do Look what we got here. Oh, baby.
We have to
do it for sure.
Chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare.
Asphyxiate him to death.
I like how Center Force UAEL calls it Avengers 4, bro. Nobody calls it Avengers 4, which is wacky.
It is Avengers 4. Match, bro.
Oh, Sloppy House. No, I don't think I will.
Santana with a cover. Winner. Giving Knight.
Joining me now.
Well, that's pay-per-view version, bro. That's interesting.
And their teeth
yeah.
Down there.
Yeah. I've got the pay-per-view version in bad quality. 2 hearts beating as one, bro. Remember, that was the fucking promo. This show is awesome, bro. Oh, there it is. What is she, a UFO? Oh, there it is, bro.
Little Hulkamaniacs. Where is that guy?
He's like 22 years old right here, bro.
I'll tell you where he is.
By the way, the 400-pounder looks like this guy, bro, in my server. I'm serious.
Is this before or after he was gonna beat up Fred Kitao, bro? It's bro.
Why does he look like Rick Moranis on steroids, bro?
He looks like he's about to get killed gangland style in about 2 years.
Gangland.
To show up in
Because Meltzer said gangland style.
I'll take care of him.
For selling cigarettes, bro.
Hogan.
Denny Louise Country murdered him for selling cigarettes.
Because tonight, for the first time in World Wrestling Federation,
John Cena can't even see his private parts, bro.
Oh, bro.
He called Banyas Brown a mouse, bro. He's not gonna like that.
Oh,
and
man, WrestleMania 7, bro. The biggest event in the history of wrestling. Well, I want to see that whole promo, bro.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Watch. Hey.
You're right, it is. I love Vinny, bro.
Well, there was a sniper on this show, so they had to move it to the sports arena.
World Wrestling Federation are on their way to join the over 100,000 streaming.
I've been to
100,000.
I've been to the Super Bowl. I've been to the Rolling Stones.
Call 1-800-877-1414 in California. 213-480-3232. Pick your plans now to be at WrestleMania 7.
That's Vinny the promoter right here, bro. Look at him, man.
1414 in California. 213-480-3232.
Bob Slaughter.
No matter how you get there, just get there. Make your plans now.
The bushwhackers.
WrestleMania 7.
Big dust, bro.
now, ladies and gentlemen, the former.
Here goes the former.
Former.
Is it Mirror Axe or Mirror Smash? Is it Mirror Crush?
That was earlier. Yeah. Oh, remember this segment, bro, with Bruce Pritchard?
Oh, put the Orient Express one.
Oh God, you can't one cross-eye. That was fun. That was fun to revisit that show. That show never gets old to me, bro. It's always great.
It's a great show.
Yeah, it is a great show. Well, anyways, we've been on for 4 hours, bro, and I'm tired, and so are you. What did you think about the Street Fighter trailer? The wacky, right?
I mean, it's a teaser. You didn't really see much. It was just everybody like a little bit of action.
But the movie's gonna be wacky on purpose. Like they're making it goofy on purpose.
I hope so, because if it's not, it's gonna be weird.
I agree. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, bro. That's it. I guess the next show that we do, did you want to just review the whole year? Because I mean, the only thing we really have, there's stuff to talk about, but the two biggest stories of the year, I think, are the death of Hulk Hogan and the Cena retirement, right? That's it, right?
I mean,
That's
if you want to focus on WWE shit.
Well, I mean, what else is a Tanahashi retirement?
Yeah, you can focus on the Tanahashi thing.
Because next year, but yeah.
It would already have happened. No, I mean, it's only like 4 days into the year. January 4th is his last. Yeah, Cody's ear exploded for some reason.
Yeah, bro, he bladed it.
Did he? No.
Because I think he hit it. He hit it with Obafemi, threw him into the thing.
Already getting heat, bro. I think the SG movie.
I think he means a Street Fighter movie. We'll have too many characters. Yeah, it has a lot of characters.
I thought he was talking about Razor Ramon HG, bro.
Hard gay, bro. No, SG would be soft gay.
Razor Ramon hard gay.
Razor Ramon.
Why, bro? Why that character? Bro. That's one of those mysteries that we'll never know, right? Why did that character exist? Why?
And why was he named Razor Ramon hard gay and had nothing to do with Razor Ramon the wrestler? Nothing, bro.
And McDevitt couldn't go after him, bro, because he was overseas.
Yeah, he was in land of rising sun, bro. So he couldn't go after him. Bro, it's fucked up. Huh?
Bro, cut a promo on old Slappy House because I know you know him.
I know you know him too, bro. What are you going to say about him?
He doesn't know what Tanahashi's facing. I mean, he's tuned out of the business.
Okada, bro. He's facing Okada.
Lazy Okada.
I told you that. Yeah, Lazy Okada, because Lazy
to his credit, he hasn't been Lazy Okada in a while. He hasn't been.
TKO did not allow Lazy Mura to wrestle him, bro.
But this is a better match, though. This is a better match.
What if Lazy Mura does go back to Japan and has like 5-star matches every night? He's back to being,
bro. He's 45 years old, bro.
That's not that old. That's almost as old as you are.
That is us.
You're okay. You're there already, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not an athlete. I'm not gonna be getting in the ring at this age.
You should.
It's like not human old, but it's athlete old. That's why John Cena retired, bro. He's 49.
Yeah, he's beat up. Anyways, let's get out of here. Do you have any final thoughts?
Louis V2 says, "Are you still friends with that dude that I'm shot you with?"
What are you talking about?
Bro, remember I almost got shot at the head. That's a story I told long.
Was that in TJ?
No, bro. That was when we were dragging the box of shrimp in TJ, and we ran into the pinball was a midget and he was crying. No, I'm not friends with him anymore. We're not enemies. Life just took us apart. I mean, I see him like once every 4 years. Yeah, bro. No, we'll save the wheelchair story for the next episode, and also me trying to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, and a drunk guy fucked it all up for all of us because he took a bump from the top of the stairs all the way down. It's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, for sure. All righty.
Yeah, no, Louis, I haven't seen that guy in years.
Yeah. Did you cry when John Cena retired? I did not.
No, I'm a man, bro. I'm not gonna cry over a fake wrestling.
$80 million, bro. Yeah, well, unlike that guy earlier, bro. I hope we get more live streams. I think we'll do a couple next year.
What do you mean 80? Who's 80 million?
Cena has 80 million, bro. He's fine. He's not gonna like go broke or anything.
No, I think you know what happened, bro. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I think the fans turning on the show ruined the emotion. I think they wanted a more emotional because nobody was not even Michael Cole, bro. And Michael Cole, I thought he was gonna cry. because that's been
This
his
is
boy
funny.
for years.
And you're right, he didn't cry. That's a good point.
You know, the only one that was crying was Little Nate, but he cries for everything.
Yeah. He well, he refereed the Cena match.
Yash Bet Gary 090 490 whatever, he said he cried. Bro, this guy
Yeah.
the Undertaker. Well, you're the only one because he's got a lot of go away heat right now with his wife.
Yeah, go watch his podcast, bro, where he claims to never use his stroke, which we both know that's bullshit.
His wife being shoved into everybody's faces with angles and getting Mickey James fired, and also getting fucking that hick that used to be with him fired.
Wait,
bro,
who?
His old partner, bro, that hillbilly guy.
Oh, that's right, the hillbilly guy, the original guy. Yeah,
bro. You know what I didn't like that guy, bro? That was very disturbing during his podcast is that he would wear open-toe sandals without socks, bro. And I feel very, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something that goes back to childhood, but I don't like seeing men with open-toe sandals with no socks on, bro. It's very disturbing to me.
I've done it, but I'm an Islander. I'm an Islander, so I can do it.
Let's get out of here, bro. You're fucking fine. You're gonna fall off your chair.
Did y'all talk about Brett Barry in current wrestling? He's done that for years, though, bro. That's nothing new. I love Brett, but he's that's nothing new with him. But we do have to go. Take care, y'all. Have a good one, and oh, be careful. I thought you were about to do something else there.